Whew. Whew. Good heavens.
Hello.
Hi there.
How's it going?
Oh, I was just racking my brain, really kind of struggling to come up with a title for tonight. So I think my brain just kind of copped out and went for a Night's Watch pun. So, you know. I mean,
Okay.
it's fine, you know. Technically, our Solstice watch has ended, so.
It's true.
But.
Technically, I'll Solstice watch.
Yeah.
Will be on. So I have one more.
You have one more.
So I have one more. Nah, I was So I was looking at my pursuits tab.
Okay.
And apparently, I have this thing that I didn't do, which is to win
What do I have?
a gambit match wearing the Ancient Apocalypse full armor
You've never
set.
done that. You should do it. I mean, once you have all the pieces, that's all you got to do.
That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all the pieces. I've had them for a while. I just never wore them together at the same time for some reason.
Because you do not respect the RPG side of the game, Cheeks. You do not.
I mean, I
No, you
do.
don't.
I'm usually just trying to, level up.
Mm-hmm. Without
I'm just trying not to go for them
without
levels.
enhancement cores or without, wanting to keep armor for certain perks or, wanting to customize your build in a specific way so that you're wearing the pieces you want so that they play into your play style and relate to the kind of, the kind of guardian you need to be on a particular night. Huh? You mean that part? That part of the game?
Well, I mean, usually I'm just trying to be like, am I gonna get smacked if I wear that?
Then you say, I should get some cores and make it stronger so I can continue wearing it and still have them.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately.
You play this game like it's Doom.
That's not what I did initially.
You play this game like it's Doom.
No, I don't.
You play it like it's Doom. You get new weapons, you just chuck the old one away, and you equip the new one, no matter how garish or weird it looks. Then you just leave all of this good armor on the on the table. This game does not play like Doom simply because Doom is also a first-person shooter. That is the word. Okay, so is Gran Turismo basically Need for Speed because they both have cars in them? Then how the heck is this game basically Doom? This game isn't Doom.
It was basically Doom for a long.
This game is not Doom.
This goddamn invader.
This game is the furthest thing from Doom imaginable. See? This is why Shadowkeep is going to turn you into a bona fide guardian because you won't be able to ignore this side of the game anymore. Either that or it's going to be really, really hard for you if you keep ignoring it.
Well,
like them
sounds like they don't want me to ignore it.
They never wanted you to.
God.
They never wanted you to. I mean, I wouldn't spend dozens of hours of crunch tweaking this weirdly balanced armor system just to have, like, some player just casually ignore it like it don't exist.
Hey. I feel you. Sorry, I'm just staring down my entire team right now because we lost that match and we really did not need to lose that match.
I'm sorry.
We got our primeval out sooner. We had blockers in there before them, but you know their mistake here. You want to hear their mistake?
I'm almost afraid to ask.
They went over there and invaded and did nothing. Two invaders doing nothing.
So what they...
Just doing nothing.
What'd they do?
They just went over there and came back with no
They went over there with their pamphlets just to hand them over and just, tell them about their Lord and Savior.
With their
Cthulhu.
Just exactly. They just went over there with pamphlets.
They were handing out signs that said, "Have you seen this woman?" And it's like a picture of Eris Morn on it. You know, if so, call.
Exactly.
If so, email deej at bungie.net. Oh no.
Meanwhile, their invaders were on point.
So you felt
came over here with their supers and the heavy.
So you felt the way our opponents usually feel when we play Gambit.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I wish you luck on that next round. On that note.
Yeah, I saw them all changing their loadouts. So I think they may have changed.
They may have woken up a bit.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least you know you're on a woke team. Nothing like playing on a team full of.
Gotta stay woke.
I don't know.
Potatoes.
You know, like I say potato. Yeah. I love that euphemism. I love calling things potato things. But like, I don't know why the community calls them like blueberries. I guess that's because. Yeah, I guess that's like a. That's what I was gonna say. I guess that's like a pejorative for their armor.
Yeah.
Like for their armor colors.
Yeah.
We call them blueberries. It's kind of messed up. You ask me. You know, but hey, if the armor fits, then hey, if the armor fits, dear, then you must equip.
Exactly.
To fight is
if
only
the armor
stronger.
fits,
we won't be.
Wait a minute. Petra's in Rhea Sylvia this week?
What? Oh, is it the most
Wait a minute.
week?
Oh no, wait. You know, there's like shit in the air. That's a great description. Sorry. Oh no, okay, no. She's in the mists. Who? I almost had a freak out. Like, wait, are you telling me I could have gotten the Shattered Throne this whole time?
I wish I could go with you into the field. Command posts ruin me.
Yeah, I would have screeched. But yeah, I think I still feel like we should have really I kind of feel like I feel like we should have lined it up so that you could do the Shattered Throne in the last week.
They really should have. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Well, I'm also sure these. All right. I mean, I guess I could also take partial responsibility because I did notice. I did notice that the achievements on the masterwork for the armor are retroactive. Because one of the was it the bond? The bond I have was reset your valor rank in Crucible. And as soon as I got the armor, that unlocked automatically. So had I actually ever beaten the Shattered Throne at some point, I would have instantly had that. But I've never finished the Shattered Throne because it's effing hard. It's freaking hard.
Wow.
It's really difficult. Like, I would have had to LFG, and the 2 times I did, I got paired up with really bad people. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just bad people who just, like, bailed on me. And then, of course, I tried to solo it, which was damn near impossible. Yeah, it's really tough. It's like, it feels like a raid room blown up into an entire mission.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's not super hard, but it's not easy. But we can always do it together. I mean, I'm not too worried about it because if Bungie did what I think they did, I don't think masterworking it even matters, to be honest. TBH, as they say. Yeah, because I'm still kind of alright. One was Bungie's reluctance to answer the question, as you saw during the live stream. They very deliberately were like, my man Deej was sidestepping like a temptation. He was shuffling. Doom, 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 doom. Not hearing this. Like, so, it leads me to believe that, due to based on what we saw in the live stream, that your armor, when you actually pass it, like when it gets turned into armor 2.0, that's going to drop whatever perks, mods, like whatever the weapon used to be. It's going to reset it back to being a regular legendary, but in armor 2.0. And if it does that, you're going to lose the masterwork on it anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't, you know, bust my cheeks.
Don't worry too much about it.
My neck worrying too much about masterworking it if it's all going to be reset anyway. I feel like the most important thing was getting the armor. Yeah, no.
For sure.
So, you know, maybe I got nothing to worry about. It would have been nice for bragging rights. I looked back in my vault, like I was just looking for things to dismantle for Bright Dust. Don't forget, dismantle them issues by the 17th. Because Bright Dust as a currency will not be earnable via regular means after Shadowkeep comes out. The Bright Dust, the Bright Dust economy is about to have a stranglehold placed on it after the 17th. So
wow. So what? You're not getting Bright Dust?
No, you're getting Bright Dust, but you won't be getting it from like dismantling Eververse items or, you know, like ships, sparrows, things like that. Like you'll be getting them through like bounties and certain world activities, and those items are going to become invalid because of Armor 2.0. So instead of leaving all of that ish on the table, you should just dismantle them now. Reap the Bright Dust, and you can always pull it back out of your collection should you ever want them. Because you can pull you'll be able to pull them from collections in Shadowkeep. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go on a deleting spree. Like I'm talking like all my beloved sparrows and ghosts are about to get junked. Cause I can pull them back out of collections. I mean, remember, hun, exotic sparrows are worth like 500 Bright Dust. Yes, exotic ghosts I think that come out are worth 100. Exotic pieces of armor are worth a lot. Like there's a lot of Bright Dust, okay, being left on the table, cheeks. And given that some of the Triumph Hall statues start costing Bright Dust, could be, you know, could be beneficial.
Yeah.
All right, I got this.
All right. That's good to know. I'm gonna break down. All right, that was unsuccessful as fuck because I actually needed to win a match in order to get that, you know. So
so is that a call to arms?
Maybe
is that what I think it is? Is that a call to arms?
So here's the thing. Here's where I'm at. So I need to do one more. Did I do anything? Hold on. I need one more bounty basically to complete the armor. That's all I need.
How close are you?
So you know. I mean, let's see. I could, you know, do some Crucible, or I could, we could do some more Gambit. We could do a Strike. Literally, I just need one bounty.
Okay, then let's do that Gambit and win, so you can knock out 2 birds with one stone.
Well, that's the thing. I need to. Oh, you're right. I just need to put the thing back on before I claim the bounty.
No,
okay,
wait.
Just remind me.
You need to be wearing it. No, that's not going to work, actually. Because you need to be wearing the piece of armor when you win. And you can't do that. You can't do both at the same time. We'd have to play 2 games of Gambit either way. You have to be physically wearing that piece of armor when you win. So that'll mess up the Gambit objective. Because you have to be wearing the full Apocalypse gear, like head to toe. Helmet, chest, arms.
Yeah,
feet,
I know.
Or bond, in your case.
So what if I put that piece of armor back on right before I claim the bounty?
It's not claiming the... It's not claiming the bounty. That thing's not a bounty, Jessica. That's a quest step. That's an objective. You don't pop that.
No. I know, you're right. You're right. But I literally... So to get the Solstice armor, I just need one more bounty. So, if I just get.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go actually to the drifter.
Yeah, so yeah. If you pop it while you're yeah, that makes sense.
You just have to remind me not to pop the bounty until I put the thing back on. Sometimes I just do them right out, like automatically. I forget. I don't know, because it feels good. It's like checking things off your list. Oh, snap.
I like jumping off cliffs and breaking my arm. Why? No, it feels good. Don't break your arms. What the fuck? There are other ways to get your jollies on, okay?
Get my jollies all sorts of ways.
Are you feeling them in your jollies?
Yes, I'm feeling them in my jollies. I'm just gonna go to the tower real quick to grab some more,
You would.
Fine.
I'm gonna head over to the Tangled Shore and see what's up with the spider. Then let me know when you're in orbit.
Okay.
Tonight's expert playlist is underway. The end of the solstice, so to speak. The last piece of armor. How do you feel?
I feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I'm really excited. I feel like I'm about to go right on time.
Have you already preemptively, like, mentally selected your Have you mentally selected your
flare,
your glow? Oof.
Yeah, I think I don't know if this is tough, dear, because I don't know if I want to go arc or if I want to go void.
Well, to be honest, I think you're a void walker more than anything else these days. I mean, I always encourage you to, have a subclass for every situation, so that you just have fun, you maximize your potential, so to speak. But the glow does shine brightest when you're equipped with the class that corresponds with it. So. Do you like? Do you have you enjoyed floating around in arc, just arcing things in the chest?
I mean, I like being arc lately because I get to use the escape artist and turn the little arc soul, turn my grenade into like a really mean sentient arc soul.
Yeah.
That's really helpful in Crucible.
I'm surprised you didn't like Arc Souls back when. I mean, there's a perk where your Well of Radiance or your healing thingy produces Arc Souls.
Yeah, I know, but the Arc Soul you get with the escape artist is like, it's actually better. It's like an Arc Soul on crack. It's a lot more aggressive.
I would not have thought.
Yeah.
Alright, you got me on that one. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stock up on mats. I feel like I spent a bunch. I probably did. I probably spent them at the tribute hall. That's probably exactly what happened. I spent them at the tribute hall. Oh god, Dustlight shards are 5,000 glimmer. Why do you hate us?
Yeah, they're quite expensive.
Spider is uncompromising on the road to Shadow Keep. He knows that we're stockpiling mats, dear. He knows.
Yeah.
I have a Prison of Elders bounty with him if you want to help me out. I've been trying to get. I've been really trying to get some of these exotics that I've missed, and the Lord of Wolves just drops randomly from a Spider wanted bounty. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just you, Spider, and RNGesus, button heads. Same thing for Jotun. You have to apparently you have to have all of the forges unlocked, and you have to be calibrating a powerful frame. And you got to do it at the last forge, the Berjusia forge. And again, it just drops randomly. I'm like, damn it. The weapon pool is so wide, that's a really slim chance to get that thing. But I feel like I got Hadouken so many times during the Iron Banner that I just... The salt has taken over. I'll just leave it at that. The salt has... I can't. I lost track of the number of times like a fireball just came screaming around a corner. I'm like, okay. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Relax, guys.
Relax, man. Yar.
So then a night of light grinding, is it?
It's gonna be very light. Because I literally only need one more bounty. And it could be any one of the ones I have. I'm in orbit now, by the way.
Let me join you.
I'm sending
I was just running around. One of Banshee's gunsmith bounties today are involved using a trace rifle, so I'll jump at any opportunity to use the cold heart again. I remember when I felt special for having this.
I'm just an honest businessman trying to make a buck.
For having the cold heart?
It was a pre-order bonus. You got to use it 2 months early.
Deal with that.
Yeah, if you pre-ordered the game, you got access to the cold heart day 1. Everybody else had to wait for Curse of Osiris to come out before it was added to the loot pool.
Interesting. Okay.
But then when Curse of Osiris came out, so did the Prometheus lens, and yeah, I don't think anybody cared. They were like, why am I gonna break my cheeks to this arc beam rifle when people are literally just solar flaring each other off the map in Crucible? Oh, I still say they need to make that a game type. Just give everyone Prometheus lenses and unleash them upon each other.
Remember somebody with the Prometheus lens in Gambit? That was weird.
He was clearly a special individual who needed attention. I can't think of any reason why he was using that thing. Like, I could even make a good case for you using the Prometheus lens because, you know, it has that little fireball that grows. You know, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot to consider. But the freaking... What? Why? Why?
Why?
The only way you'll catch me using that thing is if Ice Hive are on the field or something. I don't know. I think that's...
Ice Hive. Oh, Ice Hive.
Ice Hive. You know, they didn't show off a new enemy type.
I don't know that we're getting one. I think it's gonna be more like a... You thought this thing was dead, but it's not dead. Kind of thing. That's the impression I got from the
That is
doc.
single-handedly the greatest narrative use, the greatest narrative reuse of assets I've ever encountered.
Oh yeah.
That's how you asset flip
I mean,
right there.
You know, we're probably getting...
We're gonna bring back all these old... Oh my god. They went back into the files and they were like, click, see. Assets. Models. Destiny 1. Fogoth.png. Right click. Copy. Because Fogoth was in the trailer. Fogoth. Oh man. I hope there's a...
I mean, that's kind of what they said. They were like, oh yeah, you know, you are used to being able to just kill enemies and, you know, they stay dead. But what if, you know, the things that you're used to doing don't work anymore? Then what? It's like, I'm sure I'll be able to kill it eventually. You're just gonna make it so that I'm gonna see it a bunch more times.
Well, you know, as Varric said, you know, you have to kill them dead.
Not kill them back.
You should absolutely kill them back.
They ain't kill you. Kill them back.
I hope that translates into the return of Varix.
I really want to see Varix.
I want Varix.
Like, there was some... Yeah, there was some lore about what led to him leaving the Prison of Elders and, you know, his journey as it relates to how he views himself. But none of that was in game. It was all, like, lore.
True.
Which is, like, yeah, that's still my complaint. That's my main Destiny complaint, by the way. They have all this lore floating around, but, like, most of it never makes it into the goddamn game. It's, like, annoying.
Well, you know what? I think Joker did make a very good point about Forsaken.
Mm-hmm.
In that the Dreaming City was a really good step in the right direction as far as using the world to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
The way it was evolving week to week, the way the first team that completed the raid unleashed the curse on the city. But when the annual pass started, they pretty much abandoned it.
Yeah,
like story-wise, they kind of just,
You're
you
right.
know, they gave us a little drip feed here and there. You know, we got to see Pulled Pork resurrect Aldrin. And there was the ongoing story with Mara Sov and her oracle, like when you went back and forth until you finally met her. But yeah, by and large, the story didn't really continue through the seasons as much as it kind of was sidelined by the new, smaller stories. And I'll be honest here, okay? Realistically, Season of the Drifter, I think, is probably the only one that I felt advanced the overall narrative in a compelling way. The Season of the Forge and the Season of Opulence don't really do too much for the story. Season of the Drifter did, because you got a lot on Dredging Yor, the Nine, you know, the Drifter's origins, or, you know, his motivations. Like, a lot of that I found really compelling, especially those visits to the Reckoning, where you have a talk with the emissary several times.
Yeah.
Like, that was...
Yo, that
cool.
freaked me out. I was like,
yeah. Even picking up the last word had a little bit of lore attached to it. And it was really, the mission itself was pretty cool. Even though it was on a very technical level, it was the Thorn quest repurposed for the last word. The whole cleansing of the weapon and... But it added to it did add to the story. I'll say that. But yeah, other than that, there really hasn't been too much from a storytelling standpoint. I mean, I wonder if, and again, I like being optimistic, but I do wonder if, you know, this focus on world events are going to be in service of the story instead of just solely being in service of the gameplay. You know, I love me some quality of life improvements, but not at the cost of context. You know, nothing like hearing, hey, why does this person do what they do? I don't know, no reason. Because it's the right thing to do. Like, are we Mary Sue's? Why am I powerful? What are my motivations? Am I just doing this just to do it? You know, I never just did things just to do them, okay? Like, I'm gonna travel into an ascendant plane and just kill the god of an ancient civilization. You know, I got a little more sense than that, okay?
Oh my god, come on!
Oh shit. Were you on the...
Freaking captain.
I noticed you were down there. You gotta...
I was trying to kill it.
Off, though. If you're overwhelmed, just jump away. No shame in running from the base. We'll get him. We got, oh god, we got 3 captains on the base. I've got 15. We need to get these things off, and I'm almost out of ammo.
I'm gonna try and get this captain since I don't have any.
Can we get match made into another lemon team, because this ain't it. There's so many blockers. I feel like I'm the only one other than you holding moats. And the opposite team has 31. 31. How did that happen?
Yeah.
How'd that happen? All right, clearly I'm gonna need to use the Arbalest. This is silly. I'm gonna have to drop the Cold Heart for the Arbalest. This Banshee bounty I'm doing just needs a trace rifle. Figured I'd get it here, but this is clearly killing us.
All these cats and what the fuck?
Oh wow, and now there's a new one.
I'd use my super if I had it. But
Yeah, likewise.
I don't even
Wow,
have
now there's an
heavy.
ogre. Okay, so the other team's just gonna win, right? This is a
Yeah,
literal
they're just
exercise
gonna
in futility. Collusion.
Yeah.
Like,
Oof.
do our teammates in the opposite team know each other? Like their friends need some W, so they're just potatoing out on us
Maybe.
and throwing the game? Like, holy fuck.
Large blocker outbound.
Yeah, this is.
I had to work for that, you know, and while I'm working for that, I'm not running around and collecting motes. Apparently, neither are our teammates. Look at this. No one's holding any motes. The 15 we have were my 15.
Opposing team summoned a prime evil. If they kill it, they win this.
What
Portals
the
up.
fuck is everyone else doing?
They're gonna get bad Xbox Live reports
High value
for
targets
griefing,
running.
that's what.
Get him.
You have to try to fail this hard at Gambit. You have to try. Like, you have to be intentionally messing the game up to do this. I don't know what their motivation is, but wow.
Yeah.
Like, thanks. GG's?
Please deposit. See, you're holding 3. Where's everyone else? Deposit the goddamn.
I've got
motes,
hostiles at the
motherfuckers.
canal, and I'm the only one at the canal.
I'm sorry. I'm there.
Well, you know, I'm not talking about you. I know you've got the cheats. Well, you're actually playing. I'm talking about these moves. Shit. I gotta move or I'm gonna lose my motes. This is embarrassing. Genuine efforts being put forth here. That's only because your heavy doesn't carry over from match to match, so you might as well use the fucking thing.
One down.
Yeah.
Oh yes, please come up here.
2 for 1.
Pride goeth before the fall, my fine feathered friends. Pride
10
goeth
seconds left.
before the fall.
Are you invading?
Jessica, I've already killed 2 of them.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes.
Bringing you back. Good hunt. Hostiles incoming.
Well, that's why I said pride goeth before the
That's
fall.
what
Like,
you
you know,
say.
they saw me and he just ran up to me like, well, look at how they've been performing. He must be garbage. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Portals up.
That pride here, it just goeth. I don't have
It
heavy and I'm not using a bow, so me invading right now would probably be suicide. I can't say with confidence. I can switch to my bow, but I can't say with confidence that I'll still have ammo for it.
1 minute.
Let me go again.
Embrace the
Oh,
darkness.
shit.
Take out those guardians.
Alright, somebody needs to deposit like 2 motes. Come on.
They're all pussying out.
10 seconds.
Come
30
on.
seconds
Why am I
remaining.
the only... This motherfucker has 10 motes. Deposit them.
Welcome
What are
back.
you
You're
doing?
nearly there. Fill the bank. Get that primeval up.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm reporting every single one of these ass hats.
Wow.
10 seconds.
Well, again, not for lack of trying.
It's not over. Kill that
Drifter,
primeval.
your optimism is palpable.
Convoy's taking a dirt nap. Primeval time. Your allies invading the other side.
This is the most bizarre game of Gambit I've ever played.
This is just weird.
I wouldn't say it's weird, it's just kind of fucked. It's baffling. You know, it just doesn't make sense. That's all.
Why is somebody running around with 10 modes?
Go say hello.
Whoops.
When we needed 2 to get a primeval?
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get a triumph of some sort. But, I mean, all of the triumphs only pop if you win, no matter how, you know, obtuse the circumstances are surrounding them. Yeah, like the one where somebody has to bank 100 motes, like one single person has to bank 100 motes. You have to do that and win. Yeah.
In one game?
That's an actual objective. Somebody has to have 100 motes deposited by themselves. That just means like, hey, you're all defending one guy as he, you know, deposits everything. But again, you gotta win doing that. It's not like that's just, oh, just do this dumb thing and then lose. This is so bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to speak it into existence, but I'm genuinely surprised that we're still in this.
I think there's like one person who's trying to win, other than you and me.
But this is just bizarre. Like now we're winning.
Yeah, this is weird.
Again, I don't want to speak anything bad into existence here, but this is very strange.
Well, we got.
Wow.
This was very, very weird.
Don't understand it. That was bizarre. I don't get
bizarre. Yeah.
Nope, I can't. I thought I knew.
Hey guys.
Do better.
Why are you running? Did we lose people? Is that what
We
happened?
didn't lose anybody.
No,
we have everybody on our team.
We have 4.
What the fuck are y'all doing? Fucking
We have
man.
everybody. Okay. What are you doing?
Back to action, brother. Hostiles have regrouped.
They're flipping knives and celebrating. I don't understand.
Hostiles at the pit.
Don't understand what they're celebrating.
I realize I have a really dirty mouth today. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'm just frustrated.
Angry?
You know, I don't think I am. Not today. Just annoying. Losing this game, I should not be losing, okay?
Okay, toxic gamer rage.
No!
Guardian down.
But do you have to fulfill the quota during Gambit, though? During Gambit, though? Don't do that in Gambit.
Hostiles at the canal.
This is not the time nor the place to be falling. My hammer just bounced off of you. How dare you? My hammer! Tell these servitors to respect my hammer.
They need to
really
respect the hammer.
Oh, that hurt more than I thought it would. That's a problem when the throw hammer button is the same as the melee button. You know, you end up with stuff like that. You know, oh, oops. I juked when I should have jived. All right, I got 7. I'm gonna head in. Wait, that's a shank. Hello. Oh, great. There's more hostiles over here. I don't know. What do you think? Should I risk it? Get some more motes? What do you think? I've got 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. Hello, 14. One more won't hurt. Are you the god of hammers? Yes, I am, actually. Yes, I am.
Hostiles incoming at the
Now
swamps.
that you mention it, Odin, I am the god of hammers. Why is the bank locked, but I don't... Oh, it's a goblin. I'm like, why am I not seeing whatever enemy this is?
Goblin. I know, I have to go look for it too.
Large blocker en route to the enemy. Feels good to be a bad
Okay,
guy.
this is a little better.
Portal's ready. Go say
My
hello.
only guess is that they were deliberately trying to trigger sudden death. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't understand why you play like complete garbage the first round until you deliberately lost, and then play like this in the second round, unless you're just trying to do a sudden death match for some reason. And don't look at me. I don't remember if there's a tribute attached to sudden death, but if there is, if we win this round, that's what's going to happen to this game. It's going to end up in sudden death. which I still think is the worst thing they did to this mode.
Guardian down.
You know, I kind of liked it when the third round was a legitimate match of Gambit and not a rush to either defeat the Primeval or invade and annoy the other team. Yeah, I just don't like the dynamics of sudden death and the way it works. It's like a desperate fight to kill the Primeval. Everybody's supercharging is up by a little bit, but it just feels too haphazard and chaotic to be strategic or fulfilling. It just doesn't feel good. I don't like sudden death and the way it works in Gambit. It just feels too random and too unfocused for my bones.
This is what the Taken feel. Revel in this.
Now, is the other team just deliberately playing badly, or is it just me? I don't get it.
I don't know what's happening.
Shit, to be honest. They're gonna work for their meal, though. Even if they are running from me.
And I pull you back. Woo! They're bleeding moats. Welcome back.
Wow, that was 30 seconds? Oof. Okay. Thought it'd be more.
Alright, we just need like
got enough to pull a Primeval.
5.
This feels
This
so
guy
rigged.
sitting over here with
Portal's
5.
I'm no conspiracy theorist, but this feels like the weirdest, most rigged game of Gambit I've ever
Hey,
played.
your team has enough to pull a Primeval.
This doesn't even make sense.
I mean, like it clearly says we only need like 5 more modes.
Summon a Primeval.
Here's this guy sitting with 5 of them trying to run around and kill a bunch of things. Like, you don't need to do that, bro. Just go over
Well, I
there and
have 5,
deposit.
so given that I know how to count, I'm
Hey,
gonna go
your
deposit.
team has enough
which
to
is
pull a
annoying.
Primeval. Hostiles incoming at the slums.
I'm not trying to adhere to the whims of some 7-year-olds who think they found a new way to grind Gambit.
Primeval's here.
They can eat my
Kill
bleeps.
it and win this.
Even if we gotta fight them ourselves, I don't care. I'm doing it.
Your allies invading.
Deliberately obnoxious. Dang it. I went to try out the cross save on PS4, and of course I ran into the #1 thing that always gets me whenever I turn on my PS4. Updates.
What's that? Oh. Yeah, that's actually gonna be.
Yeah, Destiny 2 needed some huge updates. Oops.
Guardian down. Primeval compromised.
I mean,
Focus
I
your
wasn't
fire.
doing Season of Opulence across 2 consoles, so it was like, oh, Season of Opulence is here. I said, oops, I didn't download that for PS4. Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
I'm trying my best here to work on this thing, but something I forgot about the cold heart. What the fuck? Whew. It gets more powerful the longer you hold the laser on things.
Oh yeah.
And the burning maul is all fun and games until you get bounced off the stage mid-hammer swing. Because I could be on the downswing and then I'll get smacked off the stage.
Portal's primed. Go make a mess. Your allies invading.
You know what? And this is annoying to me. I'm under the impression that these guys are invading just to waste the invasion. Like, I feel like I'm literally being trolled right now by our team. They're intentionally not picking up moats. They're not doing anything with them. They're invading but not getting any kills. Like, I feel like I'm just being trolled. Yeah, see,
Really?
I got him. What the fuck? Yeah, I feel like I'm just being, like, we're being fucked with here.
Portal's ready. Grab your gun.
Like, you don't need to do this. You take a look at our inventories. I have all my Solstice armor. You're not doing anything but wasting your own time here. Just bored kids deliberately trolling the game for reasons I cannot fathom. As far as I know, there aren't any glitches or any, you know, exploits tied to Gambit, so I don't know why they're doing this. The other team caught up already? Really? Wow. If they win again, I'm gonna be so pissed. Jesus.
No, that thing's going down.
Put my fucking ankles into that crap.
I'm reporting every single one of these people.
Normally I'd say snitches get stitches, but these guys are dicks.
Scores even on both sides. Let me see you duke it out.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You ready for transmat? Two primevals on the
I
beat.
hate this
Finish
so
first
much.
and win. Portals up.
I hate this. I'm sorry. Just can't get over the fact that we were deliberately forced into this horse shit. And I'm using the Maul. The Maul ain't primeval friendly because of this self-described strategy of making enemies that just AoE you when you get too close. So it makes close range specialists just... It makes it dangerous to be one. Because you'll just get bounced off the map. Oh, one of our teammates is dead. I am completely unsurprised by this.
That's a surprise.
I'm not surprised at all.
Oh no!
Of course we did. On our team, there are only 2 Guardians actually shooting the Primeval. The other 2 are just deliberately running into... Don't even bother, like... I mean, I don't even get it. They're not even shooting at the Primeval. They're walking up to the enemies and deliberately dying. We're the only ones fighting this thing, Jessica. You know that, right? We're the only ones fighting the Primeval. One guy is just running into the enemy over and over and dying. But he's running into the envoys over and over and dying. And the other guy that's the warlock is just floating around idly, not shooting anything. And I'm out of everything except primary ammo, so that's it for me.
Oh no.
I mean, there's orbs, but I can't pick them up. Come on.
Round's over. The enemy team
Garbage.
That was absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Yeah, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and report every single one of these people.
Feeling kind of salty. Don't like it. Don't like the way that went down. Not a fan of that.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's see. Who is here? Who are these jackasses? Merch, Crescent, Detail.
So what they
report
did were
player.
that's called griefing.
Yep, I see that as an option here. Briefing intentionally irritates other players, often using the game in unintended ways to do so. Examples: sabotage, kicks, and fire team. Yep, briefing.
Yeah, what they did is the definition of sabotage. They deliberately played badly for reasons I cannot fathom. They just deliberately played terribly. Look at Merge Crescent's primeval damage. He did 3,000 damage.
He did 2% damage.
Yep.
Well, alright. Here's the good news. I finished that, no, wait a minute. Before I let this go, I need to report the other person. I only reported one person.
That's pretty funny.
Report player. Briefing.
Do you feel griefed?
Yeah, I feel grief. There's no reason we should have lost that.
We actually would have won had they been playing. I mean, we almost did it by ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Oh, no. Okay, I still have one left. I was like, no, that's all my bounties.
Alright. So, let's see. I'm going to take this armor off. Or at least I'm just gonna equip these
Your
gauntlets
apocalypse stuff
right now. And then I'm going to go to pursuits.
Oh yeah, you got the bounty. You got a bounty, right? At least one. So
yeah, I got a bounty. Yeah, I got two actually. So I'm gonna go with this one. Yay! 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 Okay, now I'm gonna put all the armor back on. Yay! Milestone updated. Now I have to go to the statue to meditate. Alright. I'm coming to the tower so I can meditate. Okay.
Are you clucking?
Yes, I'm cluck singing.
I missed the. Oh no, I missed those two. Damn it, I missed those two opulence bounties. Dang it. Oh well. Yeah, as soon as we leave orbit, they're gonna disappear. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
Ah well. What are these two pieces of? What did they give me? They gave me the distant relation at 731. Hello, junk. And what the heck is this? Listen, my X button's got a fever, okay, and the only cure is more useless drops. Hey, enhancement cores all around for everybody. Man, cannot believe the solstice is over.
Oh yeah, that means I should use.
Oh, you better believe I'm about to burn through all these. I have like 17 packages on deck. Bunch of blues.
What am I supposed to do with all these key fragments? I literally have 623
Use them
of them.
to open solstice packages.
Okay, but I only have 15 of those. I mean, I did, to be totally fair, I did open a bunch yesterday.
Just use more of them and open more of them, Crabneck. Are you really complaining about having too much loot?
Alright.
You cut that out. You stop that. Better redeem that loot.
Dear, I'm about to dramatically walk up to the statue.
Cheeks.
Done.
What? You don't think I should do that?
I think you should do whatever you want.
Bye.
But
you're
not
exactly
watching.
What I
you're
do.
Just running around.
You do that. Go on.
You know what?
Hey.
He's gone off on his own. Not
Wait, that's not slow enough.
Just gonna pull out my car.
Are you on your phone?
I'm here trying to start a oh, hey. Oh, you got the armor.
You didn't see
Yes,
that?
I was looking, right? I was looking right at you.
Looks like you were looking at your phone.
Be triumphant. We expect nothing.
What? It looks awesome. Look at all that gold trim. Look at those shoulders. Ooh. Look at them flaps. Look at them flaps. They're flapping. I see you. I see you in your flaps. Flapping about.
Glad guardians of our unit.
Oh no, a girl found Solstice vest. This person's gamer tag is oh no, a girl. Well, that's pretty accurate actually.
Making it
Oh wow,
purchase,
majestic.
Or are you just here to
She
chat?
just it should, if it is a she just upgraded all of her armor with the master twerks. 'Cause that's what majestic is. Majestic I think is the oh no, majestic is the legendary set. So they just got the legendary set too.
Yeah.
Happiness all around. I will never see it, unfortunately. Because you need all 5 of the pieces to be finished before she gives you an overall upgrade.
Okay. Alright.
It's okay.
It's just wonderful.
I got the glow.
I missed you all so much.
I got the glow.
Are you kidding me? Just now? Wait.
What?
So I just opened.
Okay. So you.
This is really dumb.
Okay, so you just opened. This is really dumb. What?
Wait, I'm about to tell you. Jeez. So I just opened a Solstice package, and the thing. So you know how the Majestic hood is $750?
Yeah.
Checking, Guardian.
It just dropped a $730
What can I do for you,
Majestic
Guardian?
hood. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with
what
that?
kind of drops were you getting prior to unlocking that armor?
Just regular
what level
stuff?
were the things you were getting
Like-
before you got that particular armor? Were they in the 730s?
Oh, I don't know, like... No,
I think
but
they
still.
were, because if your loot pool is 730, getting 750 armor does not automatically
Yeah.
raise your loot ceiling to 750. It doesn't. That's not the way the game works.
What I'm saying is, I just got the same helmet that I just earned. It's just a weird thing that it did. Okay?
I'm telling you why it dropped at 730. It's because your loot pool is probably around 730, Jessica. Even if you just got that armor, it's still gonna take a while for your loot ceiling to go up to 750 because you didn't get there. You just have 750 armor.
Alright, thank you. Alright, thanks.
Come see me.
Okay,
again,
fine. Let's act like it's confusing and weird.
I'm not saying it's confusing. It's just weird that I just got it. It's like the same helmet. Like, does that even... are you even supposed to be able to get that as a drop? I didn't know that was part of the loot pool.
What, the Solstice helmet?
Yeah!
You know, dear, the game does have random rolls. So, did you check the perks on the helmet?
Just browsing, are we?
Because you're playing an RPG?
I did.
So yeah, I mean, random rolls, boo.
Not...
Maybe after you get the full armor set, you start getting the pieces as drops. So then you can start looking at the perks and, you know.
Anything you want?
Yep, and I just got the robes.
Cool. So maybe they become part of the loot pool after you get everything. That's sweet. Because what if you have like your bond is like linear fusion rifle reserves, and you're like, yeah, okay, how often do I use linear fusion rifles?
Ready?
I just got it again,
As long
so
as
now
you
I
got
have
it.
3
Pretty
of
awesome.
these.
I can wait.
And another helmet.
Sign
Cool.
here.
Alright.
Yeah, I just got the gauntlets.
Cool beans.
And remember, when you infuse 2 of the same type of armor, you get a huge discount on the infusion. It usually costs like a little bit of glimmer, and so if it is a better roll, you can just infuse your 750 into it and still have a good piece of armor. Yeah, see, like this one, see, the one I have is better. I have fastball and heavy ammo finder, which is right up my alley. Machine gun scavenger and heavy ammo finder, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. The new one they gave me has... What is this? What the heck is this? It's got sniper rifle scavenger and sword scavenger. Yeah, I'm okay. I do not snipe or use swords that often to justify this. So, into the ether you go. Goodbye, Solstice gauntlets. Wow, hey. Got some matter weave for that. That's a free core.
Clean up
Yeah,
dust,
you know,
reorganize my
really start taking a deep look at the perks you have and how they relate to your playstyle, because those little things, they seem like they don't matter, but they'll improve your character in little ways. Like having machine gun scavenger is amazing because you get bonus reserves every time you pick up heavy ammo. Yeah, that kind of thing can go a long way, especially in PvE. Yeah, so get used to looking at your perks and checking them and, you know, really build the Guardian you want from head to toe. Not just visually, but all over the place.
To see you, Guardian.
Oh man, look at me. I feel so stylish.
Oh yeah, what'd you end up deciding on? Oh, the Jubilant shell is for sale. It's so much bright dust though, I can't see myself buying it. That's insane. It's like $28.50. It's a bit much for my
Eververse
cheeks.
thanks you.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That'll come
Let
see
me
me
see
again,
what the arc.
Oh, are you doing like a? Are you
I think I'm gonna go
previewing
with
them?
the arc.
Did you get taller? Or am I getting
Yeah.
shorter?
Well, just know,
Boy.
when you, oh well, no, never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say, when you buy something from the Eververse, it comes in a package that lets you return it, as long as you don't open it. You have like a week to return it if you don't open it though. So if you buy it and immediately have buyer's remorse, you can put it back. But, you know,
That's cool.
like I said, I paid silver for one, I used bright dust on the other, so wasn't too mad about it. It does look cool.
Glowy things. Look at the glowy things.
Are you a glowing peacock?
Alright, I think I'm gonna get the arc one.
What can I do for you, Titan?
Yeah, I'm just like leaving engrams. Just leaving them engrams. You know where I'm leaving them. I've got like 5 of them. I don't even know what to do with them, to be honest.
Still more to do.
I can't carry them. They're probably infusion fodder, if not anything else.
Infusion fodder.
Pretty much. I mean, they're all max, but I just don't have room for them in my inventory. That's why they keep getting eaten by blues. Let me see if I can take the app and like mass transport them into the vault. If I can do that with the app, that would actually be very attractive to me.
Give a little joy. Get a little
Because the
joy.
idea of taking them out of the postmaster one by one just makes me clench a bit.
Today is your day.
Yeah, see, no, I can only take them from the postmaster, even through the app. They only let me just take them. I'd have to run back and forth like 5-6 times. Damn it. I'm about to just dismantle these things. I don't care. I don't care.
How nice to see.
I don't want to take them. Aside from the weapons, I don't want to take them.
Checking.
So this bond can get bleeped. So can this gauntlet. Alright, so... yeah, that works. Ooh.
Look at me, I'm all feathery.
Oh no, which one did you pick?
I picked the arc one.
Thank you. Oh no.
I do not see evidence of featheriness.
I applied it to the helmet.
Your helmet doesn't appear in the tower.
Following your... Oh, that's right. Okay.
You're one of those guardians, you know. It's okay. My Titan's an exo. Okay, there's a reason you never see my face. It's horrifying.
Do you have something for me?
I've got like 3 horns. It's just weird.
Let's get started. Keep the wall strong.
Actually, that reminds me. Oh, it's Fire Day in the European Aerial Zone. Look at that.
Solar?
Yep.
We can go do some more of those if you like.
Well, you know, I wanted to play some Gambit, but I feel so raw. That was so annoying.
We can play some Gambit.
Yeah, wait, let me see what my rank is. Actually, now that I'm here, I can go to the Drifter and see how far I am. I have to be at least 13 by now. 14 is the hardest one, but... Because if you think of it in terms of XP, when you reach... Usually it's like maybe 1 to 2... I think like 2,000 experience in between ranks. But when you reach 14, it's like 3,000 for you to reach rank 15. 14 to 15 is a journey. Yeah, it's a journey.
Maybe slip you out with supplies to Titan.
Or how are you on your Forge game? You said you unlocked the first one. Did you craft a weapon at it?
Yeah, I did.
And start getting deets on the second Forge?
No.
It's the chosen one. Slay any hive guys.
I guess I don't understand what to do.
Shite.
I have a... Okay.
Go on. Apparently Gambit Prime. Yeah, Gambit Prime bounties get you way more infamy. They do. I wish Gambit Prime had taken off more.
Me too. I feel like they're gonna get rid of one of those modes.
Did they say that about Gambit?
I think so, yeah. I think in one of Luke Smith's giant blog posts, he said that.
Well, I know it's definitely not going to be the regular version of Gambit, because that's...
Come back.
It's probably gonna be the sweatier version.
I like Prime. I just don't think that... I don't think that tying the pieces of armor to the Reckoning was a good idea. At least if they were going to leave it entirely up to RNG, that was a pretty bad idea. Like, they really should have either given you a choice or let you use the synths as currency to buy the armor pieces, or they should have had a very easy fix to the loot pool to keep you from getting duplicate pieces of armor. Like, I burned through all of the thing that made me stop playing it was I burned through all of my collector synths, and on the way I got the chest armor 3 times in a row and the boots twice. It's like, that's such a waste. Because when you break these pieces of armor down, you don't get your synths back. So I was just wasting a bunch of synths until I finally ran out. It's like, all right, well, guess I'm not doing this anymore. And the Reckoning was really hard when Season of the Drifter came out. So pretty sure it's not as difficult now, but it was hard when it came out. So it was like I'm putting through all this effort just to get the same piece of armor again.
Yeah.
So it's like, now I'm out of synths. It's over. I know, I'm curious to see what they're gonna change.
Same. I think that they're gonna make a lot of changes to the PvP, which definitely ripe for some remodeling.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you heard, if you saw the whole thing Luke Smith said, but I think I agree with, sometimes you're in Crucible and, somebody pops a specific super and you get killed twice in the
Yep.
same super because it's so overpowered. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's happened.
Yeah.
There's a lot of exotic weapons that have a very specific perk that extends the super if you get kills,
Yeah, like the crown.
Yep, your crown does that. The
Tempest.
hunter has a vest called Raiden Flux that does that when they're using the Arc Staff Hunter. Do Titans have something like that? No, I can't say Titans have something like that because most of our exotics are kind of booty. But the Insurmountable Skull Fort does give you perpetual Titan melees, but I feel like that has risk attached to it because you have to get in someone's face.
What about? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You have to do the whole missile thing, right? You have to like dive
so
into
it's
someone's face. And as long as you kill,
the risk and reward's kind of already built into that. It's a massive headbutt. But yeah, I hope they change that. Oh, also, Spectral Blades does that. And I don't even think there's an exotic for it. I've just been killed by a hunter using that twice. That one game we had on Mercury. This guy was just running through the hallways going beep. Boop. There goes your face.
Stupid hunters. And their stupid things that they do.
that they
be
doing.
doing.
Well, you do be down. So, where you head? Where you want to go? Where you want to go?
Alright. So, I don't really know what to do with forges. We could do some more of this European stuff. We could do some more Gambit. We could do some Menagerie. We could.
I know what we can
do all those things.
Well,
maybe we can try doing
we can try doing
doing another Gambit.
Actually, do you want to help me? Yeah, let's do that. But first, let's hunt down the Blood Cleaver. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you where he is.
What's that?
I have a wanted bounty for a powerful enemy called the Blood Cleaver. While we're at it, just check your pursuits and see if you have anything forge related. I mean, you should. After you do a forge, they usually set you on the path to unlocking the next one. Like, see if you have any pursuits that relate to the forges. I'm gonna check these planets and see which one of these are holding my bounty. Nope, that's not. Wait. Dark liquid and the blah blah blah. Yeah, nope, that's not it. Dark liquid, like the black goo from Prometheus. The nebulous black goo of MacGuffin. Ah! The Blood Cleaver is on Io.
Oh, okay. Just Okay, so I have this quest up where I need to collect tainted. I need to kill Fallen with precision kills and collect tainted Black Armory gear.
I heard you.
Hello?
Okay, so
So far I've got 22 out of 35.
Nice. Okay. So then we can All right. So if you want, you can pick up a frame from Ada 1, and we can forge something for you. Because the first forge, the first forge has Cabal in it, doesn't it?
Okay.
Cabal, the Cabal in it.
It
Okay,
does.
so have you gone to Ada to pick up another frame, like another golden frame?
All
right.
No.
So let's head to Ava, so you can do that. If we can pick you up another golden frame, you can just start like prepping it while we're running around doing other things.
Okay.
Yeah, because powerful frames usually need like little items or something to activate them. Right now, right now I'm working on a machine gun frame. I need a few more kills just to activate the thing. Yeah, it's uncalibrated. I need to defeat 25 powerful enemies with power weapons. So saith our overlords. Where are you?
Okay.
I'm
talking to Ada. Well, okay. So in order to pick up these frames, I need to have a ballistic
You do not
log,
have the ballistic
which I
log?
don't have.
Have you picked up Ada's weekly bounties? That's how you get
I guess I
ballistic
should
slot.
pick those up.
You haven't been picking up black armory bounties?
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're leaving black armory bounties on the
That's what you
table?
have to offer.
I guess so.
Dear, how are you supposed to be fly?
Complete black. Okay. Oh, these are cool. I like these bounties. They're like, they have all these different. So apparently you are paying homage to the Black Armory's Norse heritage by defeating enemies with power weapons and shotguns. Not with hammers.
It'd be very exclusive to me if so.
Okay, sorry. And pay homage to the Black Armory's French heritage by defeating enemies with bows, submachine guns, and hand cannons. How's the submachine gun French?
Isn't it?
Careful, Titan.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
And I guess I don't know what you... I guess I don't know much about gun history. Defeat enemies with power weapons while participating in the ignition of a lost forge. Okay. What else you got? Alright. I have picked up a bounty or two.
Admire with your eyes.
Nice, nice, nice.
These are very cool looking weapons.
Do you truly believe in the Traveler, Guardian? It may have given you new life, but it destroyed many to do.
Has she been here the entire time?
Who, Ada? She's been there since...
Yeah. I guess
been
that
there
was my
since January.
question.
Because remember, you had to get like a special card and use it to unlock this hidden wall, and it slid open, and then you found the annex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember,
if not
that was
for that
cool.
card, 801 would have just straight bodied you. But since you had that card from the spider, you know, you had access to the forge. Where they develop weapons, you know, strong enough to obliterate guardians.
Damn. So who is she selling these weapons to?
Well, now us.
Who was she selling them to
That
before?
is the question. Remember, Ada has like an entire lore book. As you do the forges,
she does.
you
You're
unlock
right.
parts of it, and it seems like a diary, and it alludes to the person she might have been when she was human. She's clearly an exo.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and she's 801, which means she has not been rebooted.
She has some tangential relationship to the Braves, but don't quote me on that.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Interesting. But you know what that means, right? If she hasn't been rebooted, that means that her memory is perfect. She has not forgotten anything.
Yeah, true. It isn't very often that you meet a -1 exo.
Yeah. What you doing down there?
I was thinking I needed some flair, but I'm kind of indecisive. I don't know what to choose from a flare. So.
Okay.
And even though this dance is amazing, yeah, I'm not too sure. Oh wow, I forgot that you have the King of the Dance Hall dance. The name of the emote is literally Dance Hall. I think I found it.
Found it.
Yeah, I like the fusion dance, but nobody can seem to do it with me, so it always just leads to a weird, confused moment where people just start awkwardly bumping into me, trying to do it desperately, before they just get frustrated and run off.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, like that happens more than I actually ever see it go. They just need to just let you do it. If you're in the vicinity, just let you do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you shouldn't have to get like that close in order to do it.
Hey, where'd you go? Oh, there she is. What in the heck are you even?
Yeah. Dancing. I'm only dancing. She turns me on. It can't be wrong. I know that's not the song.
That's not the song
okay?
at all.
But it makes sense.
No, not. You can dance if you want to. No, not that one. Instead, you know. Or. Do that
That's another song. Dance, dance. Jump.
There's some theme appropriate dances and songs that we could play here. Or what about Bowie? Just dance. You know, we've got options.
Well, that was Bowie too.
I'm just saying. How could you pick that one before it's called Just Dance?
Just dance.
Yeah. Put on your gold shoes, okay, and dance the blues. Yeah, there aren't room for 2 people on top of this frame as you just disrespecting the armory. Yep.
This looks so crazy.
Like a perfect portrait of playing
so
Destiny with us. Right here. That's it. This is it right here. The perfect visual metaphor for us playing Destiny. Uh-oh. Oh, he unleashed it. The shoulder is loose.
Oh,
it's loose. Woo!
So where are we going exactly?
We are
We're
going to
IO,
IO.
you said?
That's where my target is. I'll tell you where. I think he's by the Endless Bleu. Don't quote me on that. I don't think there's a place actually called the Endless Bleu, but there's a good place to start. It's endless, you know, we'll find it eventually.
By the Endless Gate?
No, actually. It's by the Rupture. So yeah, it is right by the Endless Gate. Yep.
By the Rupture.
So if we fast travel to the Rupture...
Oh, yep, okay.
You should do these too, by the by. I mean, the spider usually has... Yeah,
the wanted?
At the very end, it's a wanted bounty. You do it, you get a piece of powerful gear, and, you know, you get a random shot at, you know, getting a fallen weapon. Like, I think that's how I got the Queen Breaker. I got it from doing a spider bounty.
Oh, Spider. He's one of my favorite characters in this game.
I hope we see more of him.
He's like a fat
He
fallen.
He grew fat from shadiness. He's like the Don. He's like the Don Corleone of the Fallen. He spins around in his floating chair.
The rest of the Fallen.
Makes you offers that you can't refuse.
They're like... Yes. I mean, they're called the Fallen. You know, they seem like they suffer.
I think more than any other enemy faction, they may have suffered the most.
You know?
They may have, you know, they know what they lost. They sat and watched as other races got it.
Yeah.
They've been chasing it. You know, they build ball robots. They're so obsessed. And Senpai just won't notice them anymore. He's all about that last city.
The ball again? With that blasted shaking, concentration-shattering machinery.
Senpai is just like, nah, I have these humans. Like, I hope when you know, should the Traveler abandon us that we don't turn into that. Like, do we turn into like the... What are the... Oh, man. What are they called in, let's see. Sorry. What is he? They're called... Rabs. What are the what's his face? Crud.
From where?
Mad Max Fury Road. Like, what are those slaves called? The ones that ride for him?
Oh, oh my god.
War Boys.
Something boys.
Yeah, so like, would humanity just turn into like a bunch of war boys if the Traveler left us? Like, we'd all get pale and gangly and we'd start scavenging.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened to the Fallen. Woo! Woo!
Well, that brings up an interesting question, right? Like,
what a nice lander, sitting all alone out
Yeah,
here.
I mean, humanity was only shrewd enough to stop the Traveler from leaving.
Take it far, far
And that's because
away
we built a
from me.
computer smarter than us.
Yeah.
Rasputin was like, oh no, you didn't!
Yeah. I wish that was
I can't have
explored
you.
more
No
in
one
the
can.
story. That's really interesting.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know what's weird though? They don't seem to have retconned that. They just seem to have made it. They just seem to have kept it and just made it really ambiguous. But they never wrote it out of the story.
Yeah. No, they never retconned it. They just didn't really develop that story point, which is really interesting. Like, that means that as much as we worship the Traveler, you know, it's the source of our light, to be sure. but it's not entirely altruistic. Like,
it seems pretty altruistic. How do we know it's just not a coward? You know?
That's true.
I, personally like the theory that it was like a giant ship for some otherworldly beings, but it does seem like a sentient entity.
Mm-hmm.
Like after it woke itself up, then that kind of threw that theory out of the window for me that it was a vehicle for something else.
Mm-hmm. No, it seems like it's pretty sentient.
Like, what does the inside of that thing look like? They used to have, well, back when part of the story involved you actually going inside of the Traveler at some point, they did have concept art that showed what the inside of the Traveler looked like. And it kind of looked like the Black Garden. It was it was like concave and it was curved, but it looked like the Black Garden. The curvature is what led people to believe that it was the inside of the Traveler in the first place. So they're like, what could this possibly be?
Mm-hmm.
The white areas had the same pattern markings as the outside, and then the innards were all curved and warped around each other. There was darkness inside of it. So we were like, oh, yeah.
Inside of
it? Remember the original inexplicable end boss for Destiny 1? It's a giant black blob in the Black Garden. Now, originally, I think you were supposed to go into the Traveler and kill this corruption that was living inside of it. Like, they kept the boss fight, but none of the context or reasoning for it. Like, nobody ever explained why we went into the Black Garden and defeated a blob. Like, what was that blob? What was the black? Was that the black goo from Prometheus?
Yeah, that's true.
Did we prevent the rise of the xenomorphs? Like what was the black goo?
They incinerated the lander again. Figures.
I don't know.
Even the speaker didn't have it. He was just like, oh, today our guardians did the thing. And it's like, okay, what do we do, though?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have questions. Yes, I do.
But I don't have any answers.
It's like...
Sorry. Here's the sweet...
Yeah, right. Well, she didn't have time to explain why she did not have time to explain.
Why she didn't have time.
Oh, crud. I'll be right back. I think I got cabbaged.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
So why are we doing this patrol?
I picked it by accident, and I tried to abandon it, but I realized I wasn't the fire team leader, so I just accidentally left and went into orbit. So. What was that thing from Angry Joe's review? Oh, he was like, they are stories. Stories they tell the children before they go to bed. I could tell you. I could tell you.
Oh, yeah.
But I won't.
But I won't.
If that was like the end cutscene or like the end credit scene of Destiny, that would have been that would have been perfect, actually. Can we patch that in? Because now the speaker's gone. Okay? He didn't tell us. He really didn't tell us.
He really didn't.
Oh, Bill Nighy. Jeez. Couldn't we have just recast you? If you didn't want to play the speaker anymore, did we have to write you out of the game? I feel like the speaker's death
I'm sure they could have.
I feel like it was too abrupt and too soon.
It was. I mean, I don't know that it was too soon, but it definitely didn't accomplish.
You can abandon this one.
In terms of. Okay.
In terms of pushing the story forward?
In terms of the story. Yeah, it didn't do anything at all. I mean, notice how we went back to the tower. We were all, hey, we beat, Gary, and No one acknowledged it at all. Everyone was just like, well, we got our light back. Everything's good now.
It was like they gave us this
nothing
Return of the Jedi style ending where everybody met up at the end and hugged each other and gave each other pats on the back. Secret handshakes were exchanged, and we're just sitting here like, is anybody gonna talk about the speaker? Does anybody know Does anybody know that the speaker's dead? The speaker's dead. Our leader, both politically and you know, what?
I mean,
like Cade 6 got a little, what's it called? He got a little gun plaque. You know, that's more than the speaker got.
Yes.
What did the speaker get?
He got a picture in the back of the noodle shop.
Wait, there's a picture. There's a picture of the. I thought it was just Cade. There's a picture of the speaker in the noodle shop.
I'm talking about Cade.
Again, he got more than the speaker did. The speaker died.
Yes,
they didn't even give him like a tombstone or a little traveler-sized trophy. He didn't get anything.
Nope.
Not even a mention.
Nothing. He got nothing.
Literally just killed him. They killed him off screen. That was another thing. We didn't even see how he died. We just saw his mask fall off, and it was like, well, wait, is he dead? Remember we were watching the cutscene when it happened? We were like, wait, is the speaker dead? Did he kill the speaker?
I didn't think he was dead. I thought he just like
out and we were gonna get a face
healed
reveal.
over.
You know, he reached 50,000 likes.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna show
on
us
his YouTube channel,
face.
so it was time to do the face reveal. Nope. Nope. That did not happen either.
Well, if you think about it for a second, right?
You got that funny quote.
At the end of the Destiny 1 campaign, we're like, oh, you know, the Traveler's awake now.
Traveler's woke.
You know, it's not. Yeah, well, wouldn't it be especially important at that point then for a speaker to tell us what the freaking difference is between a traveler that's asleep and one that's awake?
The problem is that I don't think he like took the time to ever write out a Bible for his phony religion, because they went out of their way to paint the man as a charlatan before he died. I never said I spoke for the traveler. I said, what did he say? He said, I never said that I spoke for the traveler.
No, he said, I never said it spoke to me. I only speak.
And it's like,
for
wait, what?
It. Like what? So how?
All right, Elrond.
Speaking for it if it's not speaking to you.
That means he's a freaking charlatan. He's a snake oil salesman. He's Peter. He's the Peter Popoff of Destiny. Selling that miracle water in the tower for like 1,000 silver. This water will get you up to light 750 instantly. Only 1,000 silver.
If that. I mean, again, even alright, cool. So let's say that's 100% accurate. Why does no one talk about it? I mean, at the very least, you think Ikora would be like, wow. I mean, I don't know. I guess she wasn't there when he said
that weird line about the light being in all things, or about the the traveler not. Oh yeah.
No. Yeah, because she would be like, wait a minute, then why are you? You know, because she. Remember that whole thing where he's like, I am the consensus.
That's a Joker meme. I wish I could read that verbatim. That was in the comic though. That was in the comic book where he like screamed, I am the consensus. But yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Well, he was the political leader of, you know, the Tower and the Guardian.
He was
like
church
the
and
president.
state.
Yeah. So if he doesn't speak to the Traveler, and what are you doing?
Collecting them tides, them glimmer tides. You can buy that second sparrow. Hey, Pastor needs a new golden sparrow, okay? Don't ask why. Keep those donations rolling in. Like, I can't help but think of him as, like, you know, just here. He's like Peter Popoff. He got us all with this phony religion based around an entity he didn't fully understand. But it did cause him to, you know, come into power and control of a lot of people. And when he died, no one missed him. Like, I feel like that they would have had so much to unpack had they addressed that on a character level the way they did Cade's death. You know, it's like it's like in Game of
like with no, it's just with him. Yes, with Cade, they actually we dealt with what that would actually mean. Like,
so like
if someone from the Tower died and we just never got to see them again, like, what would that even mean?
Someone, but Cade. I mean, we're not all exactly sitting around lamenting the disappearance of Eris Morn.
I mean, but we wondered
did,
about
but
it.
nobody in the game
we were like,
did.
okay, what's up with
Ikora
Eris?
wasn't like, hey, where's Eris?
Yeah.
Cade mentions Eris once. He's like the only one.
Yeah.
Okay, this thing is in here somewhere. My compass is betraying me, though. We're in the Aphix conduit. I don't know what's generating this shield, but it's keeping us locked in here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Are there more enemies we're supposed to kill?
Obviously not. Maybe there's a doorway we didn't go through.
And let me leave and come back.
Oh, I mean, we're supposed to be in this instance. We're in the Aphix conduit, so it's definitely in here. Oh, what's this? Wait, there's a hole in the wall over here. What the hell? Oh, this is bizarre.
You went through the hole?
Yeah, this is weird.
Oh.
I don't even know what to make of this.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's just... It's not even a scannable. I think it'd be like something scannable. No. Okay. There's a door all the way up here, but it just doesn't open. So, it kind of got me here. Oh! Whoa! Yep, it's this way.
What, up there?
Apparently you can just walk through this thing. I didn't even try that. It looked like a shield. Hey, look.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh, wow. We can't shoot in this thing. All you can do is melee. That's fun. I love having my weapon suppressed. Something tells me that's going to come into play later on.
What?
Okay, that's admittedly that's pretty cool actually. Where was this tech during the Red War? I mean, thank you for not using it either way, but man, imagine if Gaul had something like that on him. Oh goodness. That's a blight. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a little
Cabal. Now we've got Taken.
unusual.
Ooh, thank you.
Oh, the blood cleaver's right over there.
Oh great, he's got a shield. Let me guess, do you get suppressed if you go into his shield? I bet you do. Yup, you do.
I bet you do.
Well, joke's on you, fool. I have hammers. So, I'm going to hedge a bet here. I think I remember this. So we have to lure him out of his shield. Because when he's out of it, you know, he's vulnerable. Oh wow, look at that. That's a cool idle animation.
Maybe we gotta go on the other side.
This generator. Alright, that's special, I guess. Nah,
oh, maybe
it's not
break.
breakable. I just hit it with my hammer twice. I mean, hammer to the face.
I mean, it's taking damage.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to have a fist fight with the Blood Cleaver, you know.
There you go, I got it.
Oh, how'd you do that?
I just smacked it a bunch
Oh, you're
of
a
times.
badass. I guess my hammers can't hurt it. But maybe it melees.
Oh.
Alright, alright.
Oh.
Alright for experimentations. See, that's an interesting way to solve like a puzzle like that. I'm down. I mean, I'm dead.
But
you know, just in case you didn't hear the Guardian down.
Oh.
I'm dead. I'll respawn. Don't kill yourself over there.
Oh, jeez.
What up?
Yeah, I was trying to bring you back, but it was like... Oh, what is this? Get Scorpius for. Oh!
How you like me now? Oh, wow. That thing kills supers instantly. Damn it. I'm so mad about that.
Yeah, that did it.
Nice.
God damn it.
Damn it. Oh.
Oh no. Oh.
How'd he kill you?
Well, alright. There was a turret behind me that I didn't see. Oh, well, at least... no, he got all his health back.
Yeah, if we get him at least by halfway, I've seen, because I used to do these alone. If you get him by at least halfway, you'll be safe. Got a pretty badass idle animation. I do like the way that looks. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Although, I can't stop throwing hammers at it by accident. That's just the way it's registering. I can't melee the thing. The character just keeps trying to throw a hammer at it. Damn it. Alright. Every time we knock the shield out, there are going to be turrets right outside. That's just part of the phase, it looks like. Yeah, so we take the turrets out,
okay.
We get this asshole. Oh, that's funny. So I can run into it with an arrow drawn and then release it into him. Yeah, like the suppression makes me let go of the arrow, so... I can keep just ducking inside the shield and shooting him with arrows. Alright, they didn't think this through when they gave you the shield, buddy. Were bows a thing then? No, I don't think bows were a thing. No. Bows didn't come until Forsaken, right? So wait, yeah,
right.
That's weird. Hammers, grenades, granatas.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm down. Yay.
Oh. He dropped some crud called Death by Scorn. Not really the weapon I was looking for. Alright. Nope. No Lord of Wolves today. Ow, 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 ow. looks like a machine gun. Ouch, 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 ouch. Something's shooting me. Fuck, what is that?
It's another turret.
Okay, so. Your turn. What's it looking like for you?
Let's see.
You just did something for me.
Well, okay. So you know it would be cool.
I'm gonna do a forge.
If we could.
We could what?
Yeah,
What
okay.
were you gonna say?
Well, I have this thing. I have an invitation of the 9. I need to do Sabatoon's song.
Okay.
And kill Fallen and Hive.
Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna do that.
It's coming down to it. The Solstice grind is real, but we made it.
We made it.
The opportunity to just chill. You know, maybe Wednesday can be Borderlands. We had 7 straight episodes of Destiny. Every thumbnail I've made this month has been for Destiny. I'm looking at them.
We believe
7 thumbnails based around the Solstice. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna post all of them tomorrow, just to commemorate the end. 7 episodes, 7 thumbnails. And I love it. The last one is so fitting because the first one I did had all 3 Guardians in just the regular Solstice gear. And by the end, we're looking at all 3 of them with all the glows. Yeah, that's cool. You'll see the timeline.
Okay.
That Titan one might be my favorite one, though. Yeah, I like. My favorite one is probably the one with the beach ball. The one with you and your beach ball ghost, and the one where we're all hiding behind the Titan shield.
Oh, that one's funny. I like that one.
The one where we're both laughing at the micro mini is a close third. Because if there's not an entire racing, mode based around the micro mini, it's just I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. We need to have Super Sparrow Kart.
I don't know either.
Just have everybody in
When is SRL coming
Never.
back?
We're apparently the only ones that liked it. Clearly.
Don't come any closer. I swear if you try to turn me into one of those damn crystals.
That broadcast came from somewhere nearby. Hurry.
Wow, looks like we got here just in time.
Oh, okay. We're not even
spawned us all the way
whole
back
thing.
here, but that voice line is from like the end of the mission. Like they're about to run it. We're about to be joining Allied. This dude, well, you know what? He's by himself, and we just got matched in, so maybe whoever was with him bailed?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
That guardian should be right around here.
Oh, that means I'm not getting...
What do you have to do here?
Well, I need to get Fallen samples and Hive samples. It looks like I'm only getting Hive samples.
Void light.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's weird. Well, yeah, mostly Hive.
Hello. Is anyone in here? We're here to help. This doesn't add up. Where's that guardian we heard?
Yeah, where is that guardian we heard?
Funny you should mention that. You see that crystal over there?
Yeah.
The one that looks like it's embedded in a pile of dead ghosts. Yeah, that's him.
Wait, hold on.
Oh no!
It's some kind of summoning seal. There's a network of magic running deep into the arcology, powered by void light. They're using void light to summon something down there.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Again, there's so much to unpack here.
Commander Zavala, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Like, surely this couldn't have been their first and last attempt to harness void light.
Right? Which means that, like, there are a bunch of guardians that are getting turned into crystals.
Crystals.
Yep.
The Hive can't summon anything without those crystals.
Well, I blame Nokris. Or at least I would have.
When in doubt, blame Nokris.
I don't know. I don't know if he's really dead.
That's how I feel. Well, no, he's
Oryx's nephew went out like a bleep.
Echo 3 here. Unknown fire team, do you copy?
We copy.
unknown fire team.
No, just us down here.
I think that's us. The unknown one.
The unknown fire team.
Maybe killed by an ogre.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll save you. Calibrate scout rifles against any target. That's what I'm not doing. Alright.
Guardian down.
Whoa.
I can swap this out for the Polaris Lance.
Gosh. And you should.
I like La Monarch though.
We came down here as a squad of 9. Got picked off one by one. Watched a wizard rip the light out of my best friend. And funnel it into some
squad
kind
of
of
9,
crystal.
hun.
They're harvesting.
That is
guardians.
3 different fire
Wow.
teams, okay? That's a full game of Escalation Protocol right there. She hit the
That's what happens when you don't.
she hit the
focus.
Guardian cap. It still wasn't enough. Oh, boo. I can't throw my hammer at those? Boo. Nope, doesn't work.
Yeah, they seem to limit your hammering to a very few specific users.
Yeah, I guess just hitting things with it. Like, you can't really break objects with it. You can hit things with it, though.
Yeah. That sucks.
Well, hey. At least I won't risk, you know, losing it. Boop! That is colorful as heck.
That is very colorful.
Alright, we got creatures down there. I'm kind of defenseless. Hey, hive samples.
Woo! Yeah.
what triggers the samples? Is it killing Hive with Void? That's the first Hive sample I've seen, and it only popped up because I beat it to death with, you know, with this orb of Titalis.
The orb of Titalis.
Clearly what I have here. Can't you see? The orb of Titalis. Oh, hello. Went through the wrong door, clearly. That is not menswear. This is clearly the wrong floor. Oh, bless your arc soul. I'm going in.
Guardian down.
Woo! This is the most colorful strike ever.
I might have an idea. Let's find.
This is the regular one, isn't it? Oh, power fantasy.
Yeah.
Feels nice to not be on the ropes.
It does.
What? You heathens. Bonk.
Takeo, we're coming to you.
No, don't come down here.
Takeo, listen. We can use the crystals to disrupt the ritual. We can beat this.
Yeah, great idea. But there aren't any powered crystals in here. Never mind.
Nope.
Going with that plan.
But you said there aren't any crystals.
No.
Not
Ghost,
yet.
you're so naive.
Oh no.
I know that the Hail Mary play is like the go-to for any honorable soldier.
Indeed.
Okay. Maybe not. More Hive samples.
Whoa. What? Athenium trader. Okay.
Wait, a what?
That one enemy we just killed.
So I got a bunch of samples, a bunch of treasure. Oops. Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't go too far. I thought I had. Just keeping it clean. Just keeping it.
Rendezvous.
She sacrificed.
Don't you mean Renda's vows?
Rendezvous vows at the heart of
Yes.
the ritual.
This ends here.
That's right. You know what? I hope that, I mean, I don't know that it's gonna happen in Shadowkeep, but I really hope that in Destiny 3, what the heck, we get to speak.
Mm-hmm. What would we say if we could speak?
I don't know, but I'm kind of done with ghost speaking for me.
Well, yeah,
you know what I
but-
mean? Like, I'd like to say things.
I mean, I like agency insofar that having a character gives you more character or context. Because if you notice, hon, you haven't complained about Borderlands 2.
Guardian down.
Your character doesn't talk in Borderlands 2. But the story and the characters, the supporting characters, are so strong that you don't even notice. So, I mean, I don't mind not talking. There are plenty of silent protagonists, you know, infamously Half-Life 2. Gordon Freeman does not say a word for the entirety of the game. But again, he's surrounded by really, really strong supporting characters and visual storytelling. So you don't notice. I mean, I'm all for our Guardian, you know, being an entity that you're supposed to project on. It's not like Bungie didn't do that in Halo. Master Chief is a man of very few words.
Right.
Who's supposed to be projected upon. But, you know, I mean...
He does speak.
Well, yeah, he's still a character. But you're meant largely to project upon him. So...
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if my Guardian were to talk, I just want him to say something compelling, because I gotta say, hun, your character talks in Anthem, and your character is just weirdly obnoxious. It almost makes you hate your character in Anthem, because he's so cocky. He's so cocky and cocksure, and it makes him abrasive and unlikable. And you have no choice, because he's the character you were given.
And, like, the other thing about that is that you have decision trees as it relates to what you say, but basically it's asshole or asshole.
Yeah.
Those are those are the options. You don't have, like, real options. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. So yeah, like you said, it's either asshole or asshat. So hey, I'm all for our Guardians talking. Ghost seems like a pretty good surrogate for what our Guardians are thinking.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that the way he's written, he's there to literally interject in conversations as if you're not standing there. Like, if the Ghost only spoke exclusively to you,
right,
I think he'd be more justifiable. But when he's talking for you in cutscenes, it's like, all right, well, these are just things I could be saying.
Right.
But tell me. Oh.
And if it's gonna be scripted anyway, why wouldn't you say it?
Truth. But then I think giving your...
I mean, it's not like you have a choice.
True. Don't you think giving your character agency would add a layer of complexity to the plot that it might not need?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing for you to react.
This plot desperately needs...
Well, what I'm saying is when something happens in the game, you react to it because you are your character. Your reactions and your memories are largely what are supposed to drive the experience forward. But, I mean, how would your character react to defeating Gaul? You know, to being thrown off the tower? You get to react to that as a player because the character is you, but then you would have to assign your Guardian actual thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Like, he would have to react to being kicked off the tower, you know, finding Anna Bray, following Osiris. They'd have to interact with Ikora and Zavala and all the tower vendors in a meaningful way. Like, you'd probably have to add a little over 100 pages to the script just to give your Guardian a character, like a real character, where they speak and have feelings.
I mean, I feel like people have said that before, and they're really making it more complicated.
No, I mean, you'd have to.
Like, it doesn't have to be.
It's not complicated, but you have to react to things.
All you need to do, yes, but all you need to do is at the beginning of the game, do a questionnaire. If, you know, just the same way that you do questionnaires online.
Does that sound compelling to you?
You know, if, you know...
You want people to fill out a test before they play the game?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be a long test. It can be like a 10-question questionnaire with that like the same way that, what are they? Oh my god, they're slipping my mind right now. The same way that I think Telltale did a really quick questionnaire at the beginning of one of their games. Like, you could either go back and look at the choices that you had already made, or they asked you like maybe 5 questions at the beginning of the game and asked you how you would react to certain things, and then based on those choices...
That's not the way it works.
They did that.
That's not the way a Telltale game works. The reason Telltale games do that is because they have an entire episode, or usually they have an entire episode's worth of context. You're talking about characters that have done and said things The questionnaire that you fill out are down to the
Right.
binary choices they make, but those choices are fully contextualized within the story, so they make sense. You're talking about a questionnaire with no foundation to base anything off of. Like when you make a choice that says, hey, Lee did this or Lee did this, you're not just making that choice in a vacuum without context. You're putting those decisions really against yourself, what you know about the characters, what you would have done in that situation. I mean, like imagine you've never played a Walking Dead game before, and you're just jumping into the final season. And you get hit with the questionnaire. Now, knowing nothing about the characters or the world or anything about the game up until that point, what does that questionnaire mean to you? What does it mean to the game? It doesn't mean any.
What does the
like say
questionnaire mean?
the final episode is the first episode you've ever
the
played.
questions
What do those questions even mean to you? They don't mean anything.
Well, that's why the questions are based on the choices that you would make. For example, one question would be, what is it that's this is something that I don't think is complicated.
Because you're reducing it to it's still nothing. It's still nothing because the choices don't mean anything if they don't have context. Again, you don't know what it's like to play a Telltale game and have the questionnaire be your only foundation, like your only doorway into the story. I can guarantee you that, say, if you played The Wolf Among Us episode 4 and just answered a bunch of questions that peppered everything up until episode 4, you'd know nothing about Bigby, you'd know nothing about the world, you'd know nothing about the characters. You'd just be going in blind with a bunch of nebulous. That's not then
you would.
Then you might as well not do it at all. That's why.
But I'm not saying it should be exactly like that. I'm saying that if you want to have a baseline for how your character would react, that is equivalent or at least parallel to how you would react. All they need to do is introduce like a really quick primer at the beginning of the story that would inform your character and have, I don't know, 5 choices or, I don't know, go crazy and
don't do any choices because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so you've never beaten King's Fall, right? Would you rather play the raid and experience it yourself or answer a questionnaire that says you've gotten up to this enemy encounter? 2 people have to stand on the plates. Are you standing on the plates or are you defending? Oh, I'm standing on the plates. Okay, now you're in a large area with a bunch of ships. You have to jump across the ships to proceed. Do you do it flawlessly or do you fall off several times until you learn? Oh, well, I do it flawlessly.
Well,
that's my point. Like, this is my point. You're trying to contextualize a story with random multiple choice questions, and I'm trying to say that that's not how you tell a story. 1, it's unsatisfying. 2, and it doesn't make sense. 3, because all you're doing is giving your character backstory that you don't identify with, that wasn't down to anything you did, that you have no context or appreciation for. So you've got a character that's made a bunch of choices that you don't understand to tell a story that ultimately doesn't matter because they haven't told it. Like when you get questions in a Telltale game, again, it's because there's a story that informs those choices. They're not just there to be binary. It's why, like, when you play Mass Effect 2 and you answer a bunch of questions that, yeah, sure, they fill out Shepard's backstory, but the only thing those questions do is they affect interactions you have later in the game. There's still a story being told. Answering that questionnaire just contextualizes 2 or 3 interactions. It's not a replacement for a story. It contextualizes interactions.
Well, yes.
It doesn't tell a story, though.
Correct.
So then,
I'm not saying that they need to tell a story.
But I'm saying that a story needs to be told in order for you to properly inform these interactions, which is what the point of the questionnaire is. It's not a replacement for the story. It's a replacement for you having not played a story.
No.
That's what the questionnaire is. It's a replacement for what you haven't played.
In the case of Telltale, yes,
well,
that's what it is.
If you do that
but
here...
I'm saying that in Destiny, all that would do is inform the kind of player.
But you can play the game and do
right?
that.
Like
you can play the game and do that yourself. That's the whole point. For you to be the person that defeats Savathun, for you to be the person that defeats Crota, for you to you have to be that person. If you're just answering a questionnaire, then what's the point? You're not doing it.
No, but you're saying that, like, I don't understand. You're saying that you need to play the game in order to inform how you
you have to play the you have to play the game to inform how you would react to the events of the story, because the character is a cipher. It's a cipher for you. So you have to have these experiences to properly contextualize them. You can't tell me that if you went into Forsaken blind, answering a questionnaire about how you would react to things in the Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, The Dark Below, House of Wolves, would make you give half a shit about Cade dying. You wouldn't care because you have no history with. But that's my point.
Of a
but that's what that's the purpose it would serve. But Jessica, that's the purpose it would serve on a gameplay level. You're talking about playing a video game. You're talking about an interactive medium. You have to interact with this. You have to experience it. And answering a questionnaire is not a replacement for experiencing the game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, if you fill out a questionnaire, seeing Cade die at the beginning of Forsaken does nothing for you. Does nothing for you or your character.
No, it doesn't. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that it should.
Then what's the point?
I'm just saying that if the concern is that you would if you would need to react a certain way in the story to something happening via your character speaking, and the intent. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
and
this isn't an open-ended game. This is a game that's fixed. It has a fixed story that's supposed to be told a certain way. This game doesn't have multiple choices, so the story can only go one way. That's my point. I'm saying if your Guardian is to react, you have to write a character for the Guardian in order for him to react to things. You can't choose how they'll react, because if you choose how they'll react, you're getting even more complicated, Jessica, because now you're talking about branching pathways. What if you react this way? That has to lead to this. What if you react a different way? That has to lead to this. So now you've created more branching trees of the narrative. It's actually gotten more complicated now.
Well, not necessarily. So there's two things there. The first thing is, if you're going to script it anyway, as you said, and there are no diverging paths, and it only goes one way anyway, then why play the whole, we want you to project yourself onto the character? Because if they're doing it right, you're gonna project yourself onto the character anyway, as evidenced by.
That's not true though, because the difference is that because the difference is that Master Chief is a written character. He has a backstory. He has a character. He reacts to things in the game in his own way. You project on Master Chief as an extension of your controller, not as an extension of his character. When you do something as the Master Chief in gameplay, it's isolated to those moments. When you see Master Chief in a cutscene, you're seeing the character. That's the difference. So you can't inform. Because you can't inform what the Master Chief does. You can't inform what he does to directly affect the plot. He does what he's gonna do based on his character.
Well, you can't affect what your character does either. Like, if you're saying that Destiny is scripted and there's no diverging from what's written, then this is exactly
no, it's not the same thing, Jessica, because your character is not written in this game. You have no character in this game. It's not that the story has a logical, a preconceived beginning and end. It's how you interact with the game and how what you do affects that story. You can't do that if you don't have a character. You have to have Because the
So
point
what are
I'm
you
making,
saying? You're
Jessica.
saying that
No,
they shouldn't
Jessica, I
write
keep
one?
telling you, if you're going to do that, they're going to have to write a character for the Guardian. And it has to be more in-depth than a multiple-choice quiz. They have to actually have a written character. My point, like I said, you're going to have to add 100 pages to the script. Because your character is... the Guardian is going to need to be an actual character then. But that's the point.
Yeah, they do need to make the Guardian.
So then you have to write
character.
a whole new character that reacts to every event in the game in a specific way, that interacts with the characters now in a different way. Your character has to have something to say to Cade, has to have something to say to Ikora, has to have something to say to all these characters. You notice how Master Chief, when you're not playing as him, has history with Johnson, Cortana, Lord Hood, the Arbiter. He has relationships with all these characters because he's written fully. You'd have to do that for the Guardian. You'd have to write all of that for every event in the game. Every event, dating back to Destiny 1. It's not an easy thing to add. That's my point. You're saying, oh, it's as easy as putting a multiple choice. No, it's not. You'd have to retroactively write the Guardian an entire story.
That be nice to get an edgelord, you know.
I'm just, you can't do this without writing the Guardian a character, Jessica. You can't do it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you should be able to do that. They're gonna have to actually write
that reacts to everything.
Correct. They need to write a character. Just basically, that's what they did with Ghost, though. Ghost reacts to things.
Jessica.
Granted, he does so in a removed way, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying your character is basically a bystander. They need to write a character. And what I'm trying to say is if they do it right, you're going to project yourself into this character.
Not in the same way. Not in the same way. Because this game isn't set up that way. This game is set up in a way that you experience the events of the story directly as you experience them. You experience them directly. There's never a cutscene where you beat the big bad in Destiny. Every time you beat the enemy in Destiny, you are doing it. There's never a cutscene where your Guardian finishes someone off. You finish them off. So you are at the center of the experience. You have to experience these things in order for you to have the memories, in order for you to, you know, reminisce. That's the way this game is set up. That's the way most RPGs or MMORPGs like this, with nigh endless design, are. That's why they're designed this way. In Monster Hunter, as great as that game is,
that's fine. They don't need to change.
But my point is that in Monster Hunter,
in order to give.
But in Monster Hunter, as great as that game is, your character has very little character. The supporting characters are very strong. That's my point. They need to make the supporting characters stronger. Him being silent and not having a personality isn't as much a blight on the game as the way they're portrayed. Because your character in Destiny looks like a bystander, because when people talk in Destiny, they don't talk to you. They talk to Ghost. In Half-Life, people talk...
Yeah, that's
in
exactly
Half-Life,
what I'm saying.
In Half-Life, people talk directly to Gordon Freeman. That's my point. It's not up to rewriting the Guardian. It's making stronger side characters so that you don't notice that your character has nothing to say. It's okay that they can be silent. They can be silent because you're supposed to experience things, but the side characters have to be stronger. And as you remember, Destiny 1 was a bunch of pieces of cardboard talking to another bunch of pieces of cardboard, and you were just kind of standing by like, well, okay, so I guess I'll just sit over here while you and Ghost have a conversation. Like, that was the fatal flaw. It's not that your Guardian didn't speak, that the game acted like your Guardian barely existed in those moments where you really should have existed. You know, when the speaker talks, he's talking to everybody. He's not even talking directly to you. He's not even looking at you when he talks to you. And the Ghost is the only character that responds to anything. So, like, that's why I said if Ghost talked to you more instead of the supporting characters, but if Ghost talked directly to you, that would do a world of difference. Rather than Ghost talking to everybody while you sit there silently.
Yep. I think that making stronger characters overall.
But side characters, the Guardian doesn't really need to be touched because a silent protagonist isn't necessarily a flaw.
Guardian spoke.
That's my point, really.
Hello.
That's really my point. That being the silent protagonist isn't a flaw in itself. Like, there are plenty of silent protagonists. Okay, I'll repeat myself. That's what I'm saying. Him being a silent protagonist is not the flaw. The flaw was that the side characters. No, it's not a flaw at all. Because there are plenty of games that succeed with silent protagonists, Jessica, and they have. And I keep saying this.
Correct. And yes, it is.
It could be if it was better written. I brought up 3 games already: Half-Life 2, Borderlands 2, Monster Hunter World. 3 games with completely silent protagonists whose stories work because they have strong secondary characters that drive the story along. They interact with you as a player.
Okay,
they
but
talk
I'm not
to you. They make you. You're
a
talking over me.
You're
talking over me.
Because you've been.
Well, then let me speak.
For the past 5 minutes.
If you're impatient,
right,
then that sounds like a you problem. I'm making a point here.
All right. You've been making the same point for the past 5 minutes.
All right. I'm making this point for the past 5 minutes because you clearly do not want to understand how these games work. I'm bringing up examples of games like it that work.
I just have my opinion.
I'm sorry, your opinion's wrong.
It's
wrong.
Subscribe. It
is possible because you're wrong. Because you're saying in the face of evidence otherwise that a silent protagonist is a flaw in the storytelling when there are multiple demonstrable games
that is not what I'm saying.
That work.
And if you would stop
your proposed solution just makes things more complicated and makes the storytelling worse.
All right.
I'm sorry, your solution is bad. It's a bad solution. It makes more problems.
Okay.
I even outlined the problems that it presents, and you're like, well, no, it doesn't have to work like that because my opinion is special and doesn't have to hold itself up to game design rules.
What? Whatever.
I'm just saying, there's no basis in reality for how this would work as a game. They're nice ideas, but they don't work when put up against being a game.
All right, sure.
I'm sorry, the multiple choice testing doesn't work. I had to explain to you the utility of that in a Telltale game in the first place.
You too, Maria.
No, it's fine. I don't have to agree or disagree.
Fine. Hey, that's how you know it's bad ideas, because you can't defend them.
No, it's when
okay, let's try again. I need to hear this in full, and then I'm telling you, I'm going to punch it full of holes, because it doesn't work.
I don't want to have the discussion anymore, so you can continue to talk to yourself.
Fine. Whatever. I'm sorry that your ideas are bad and that you don't have the ability to defend them.
That's really...
That's what you're saying.
Just try to imply that someone's
because it can
wrong.
be. I'm sorry you don't want to be wrong, but it's okay to be wrong. See, when you're wrong, you can learn something, and then you don't have to be wrong anymore. Being wrong isn't a bad thing. It's not condescending. If you think you're above reproach, that you can't learn something, and that everything you say should be right, then what kind of opinion is that to have? How do you grow? You have to be right because it's your opinion?
Well, you seem to think your opinions are
No, I seem to think that I know how game design works, and what you're saying flies in the face of good game design. You're like, let's put a multiple choice test in the game as a replacement for a written character. That makes no sense. You did say that.
Did not say that yet again.
You did.
But alright, did not.
Then you said, oh, well, being a silent protagonist is flawed. And I'm like, okay, that's not true either.
Did not say that.
What did you say?
But okay. I said, in this instance, the fact that our character is a silent protagonist is a flaw because, as you explained,
it's not a flaw.
Ghost speaks for you.
It's not a flaw because Ghost speaks for you. This is proof that you didn't listen to a word I said. I didn't say it was a flaw because Ghost speaks for you. I said it's a flaw.
That's what I said.
But
that's what I said. but it's okay.
Why is it a flaw? Why is it a flaw? Because Ghost speaks for you.
Well, I think we just tried to have this discussion, and you know, you did. No,
Answer. Instead of giving me the backstory, just answer.
No.
Why is it a flaw? Because he speaks for you.
What do you mean? Because, and I agreed with you on this point, the secondary characters are speaking to Ghost. So you're standing there, a spectator, to what's happening. I don't really agree that having a silent protagonist is the solution to you projecting yourself into the character.
Then you haven't played enough games with good silent protagonists. Because again, the flaw is...
I'm not saying that having a silent protagonist is an inherent flaw. I'm saying that in Destiny, it doesn't really work.
And I'm going to say this again and again, it would work if the characters interacted with you too. That's the point. It doesn't matter that they talk to Ghost. It matters that they talk exclusively to Ghost. They can talk to Ghost. That doesn't matter. It's the fact that they don't talk to you. They have to talk to you. They have to make you a part of the story. That's how being a silent protagonist in a game works. When the characters acknowledge you. Again, play Monster Hunter. Play Half-Life. Play Doom. Doom 2016 is a perfect example of how a silent protagonist can drive a really strong story. Why? Because every character in Doom speaks directly to the Doomslayer. Everything the Doomslayer does is informed by his animations and how he interacts with the environment. That alone gives him a character. He's actively a part of the story. That's how it works. If they make you not a part of the story, it doesn't matter what genre the game is. It can work for Destiny, but the game isn't written in a way that involves the protagonist. It's not impossible to write this game in a way that involves the protagonist. And he doesn't have to have a voice.
Right. It's not impossible.
A flaw of the genre or the game.
It's
a flaw of the writing.
I didn't say that.
What I'm saying is that a silent protagonist in this game would absolutely work. The other characters need to be written around it and not in spite of it.
True. They could
theoretically, it's not in theory.
Rewrite all the other characters.
Because I have proof.
What do you mean?
It's not a theory if I have proof. Okay. How can you call it a theory when I'm giving you actual examples that exist in the real world?
You're mentioning other
Yes, is this not a video game we're talking about? What is special about Destiny that makes it different from any other video game? You pick up a controller, you play it. What's different about Destiny?
Saying that as it relates
What is special about Destiny that makes it any more different than these other games?
I'm not saying that it's special. It's just
it's a game.
That's
it's
all.
a game.
I mean,
it's not special.
It's
It's not special, Jessica. It's a video game.
I didn't say it was special.
You're saying as it relates to Destiny, as it's a singular entity. It's exhausting because
I don't know how
people talk to me when they listen.
Really?
You're literally saying as it relates to Destiny. What are you saying if not Destiny is a special case that needs special considerations? What does that mean? Words have meaning.
It just means that it's a game. It's
a game
itself. It doesn't mean anything.
It's a game that is itself?
I'm talking specifically.
So you're not saying it's special?
Yeah, it's just... It's special in that there isn't anything exactly like it.
I gotta stop you there. There's plenty of things that are like Destiny. There's nothing special about this game.
Exactly.
There is nothing special about this game that would require a different method of silent protagonist storytelling than any other game on this earth. Every game I brought up to you is in a different genre.
Okay,
There's nothing special about this game.
Alright, well then, there's nothing to talk about then. If you have a solution that fits
outlined
perfectly, then
I outlined it top to bottom. I'm not arguing. You are. You're the one that's saying that this game is so special that it needs to be treated or handled a certain way.
I didn't say that. It just, I just had an opinion and it's okay. You don't have
It sounds like you don't like my opinion, not the other way around. Because I listened to everything you had to say. You just don't like being told that it may not exactly work. And I don't know why that offends you.
Did not say any of that. Not offended.
Why are you like? Why do you react this way to saying, "Hey, this is not a good idea"? Like, does it have to be because you said it?
It's just really.
Well then.
No, it doesn't have to be a good idea. It doesn't. You don't have to agree. I don't have to agree with you. I just thought I could bring forth an idea and not.
I didn't scream at you. What I did was I told you why it didn't work, and it seems like you couldn't handle that. So now you're just projecting on me.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like, I don't know anything about this at all. Why is my opinion valid on any level? You know, your idea could have evolved if you accepted my idea instead of just fighting it.
I'm not fighting your idea. I was just trying to state what I thought, but you wanted to
I wasn't debating you at all. I was telling you why it didn't work. You were telling me why it should or could.
I mean, it could, I think. I just don't need to debate it.
So honestly. Your opinions are not open to... Okay, fine. I mean, if that's the way you want to be...
absolutely are.
Obviously not. Because everything I said was like, oh, you're just arguing with me. Oh, you're just being condescending. Oh, you're not telling me how this works. And maybe I can evolve my idea past the misinformation. Because you're misinformed, Jessica. And if I'm informing you, why can't your opinion evolve? Instead of saying, I'm going to keep thinking this way because it's my opinion. And it doesn't matter what you say, even though you're more knowledgeable about the topic.
At all. You're just having a conversation with yourself.
Because you keep talking over me with the excuse that, oh, I don't stop talking, which means you're not listening. You're waiting for your turn to speak. And that's why this went this long.
Well, I did want to interject during certain points, but I guess I don't need to.
I mean, you can wait. I know it's hard, but that means you don't want to listen to what I have to say.
I did.
That means you just don't want to listen to what I have to say. If you're getting that impatient, then you don't care about what I'm talking about.
I did mean to interject because I felt like you were misstating some of the things
I feel like
I was saying.
Repeating it verbatim.
But
I feel like I was repeating it verbatim.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. I was trying to tell you that was not accurate, but you just continued to talk, and so you went in your own direction.
I didn't go in the wrong direction. I listened to everything you said.
In your own direction by
I didn't misstate one thing you said.
According to you.
You said that silent protagonists wouldn't work in this game because it's a special snowflake.
Anymore.
And
it's okay.
You did.
Not say any of that,
so you didn't say Destiny
did not.
Is itself. And that doesn't mean that it's an exception to a rule.
Intended to say
that doesn't inherently mean that.
No, did not say.
Then what does I'm myself mean?
Does not
if I said I am myself, what am I saying about myself? What does that mean?
You're saying that you are your own person. There is no one in the universe that's exactly
so that's what that means.
Like you. Are there people that are very similar?
So that's what that means.
Yes, but there is.
So then, why doesn't that mean that when you say that about Destiny? Why is it?
That's exactly what.
So when I say you're saying that Destiny is special, why are you saying I'm misstating your intent? Because that's basically what you're saying.
Because that's not
so
what I said.
So
are you special? Are you a special
I am myself
snowflake?
And I am special mean different things?
That sells for a fortune down in the city.
Well, the context is different. Yeah.
What?
In one instance, you're saying I am special and I'm a unique case and I'm a snowflake means there's no one in the universe like you, and you know you're some kind of exception to a rule. Whereas you are your own person means that you are a unique person.
So I feel the only difference in what you said was was the word person. What you said was the same, except the other one you just said the word person.
What is the point?
I don't know, Jessica. You're trying to make a distinction between saying I am myself and I am special. You're trying to tell me that there's a difference.
Not really.
You're trying to tell me that there's a difference between those two phrases because I'm confused. I want to know why when you say I am myself and I am special, that to you, you're trying to tell me that these are two different things. And then your explanation is saying the same thing twice, but changing one word.
Okay,
That's not how
I
words
can
work.
Explain this, even though I'm past.
I know you're past caring, Jessica, but you have to understand what
when
you're saying in English. You're saying that something is special and that it's its own entity.
Okay, so you really don't understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I heard you say that Destiny was its own thing, meaning that it is an exception to some rule somehow. And when I said it wasn't, you're like, oh, no, that's not what I said.
Not what I said.
Okay.
Not what I said.
Okay.
Correct. Not what I said. It's not an exception to anything.
Okay. You may need to rewatch this stream then, because you totally said that. You did.
Didn't say that it was an exception to anything.
You said because Destiny was the way it was, that it could take a different storytelling approach than other games. And when I said Destiny is no different than any other game out there, you were taken aback like I was saying something crazy. You're like, Destiny's just like everything else. I'm like, yes, it is. There's nothing special about this game. You took umbrage with that.
I mean, what I was trying to say is that there's a few different ways you could approach storytelling for anything. There's no hard and fast rules. I mean, that's how you get formulaic nonsense when everyone's all caught up in following rules. There are no
I never
rules.
said there were rules because I brought up 4 different genres. I brought up games in multiple genres that use this one storytelling tactic in different ways. I brought up a completely silent protagonist. I brought up a silent protagonist with a personality. I brought up a silent protagonist whose characters interact with him. I brought you up several examples in different genres and different methods. So I know you're not about to tell me that I said there was one way of doing things when I brought up multiple examples that highlight multiple different ways. I didn't make that point, right?
Correct. You did bring up different games, but what I was trying to say was that Destiny could work if you had a protagonist that was not silent.
My point to that was you would need to write hundreds of pages of extra dialogue to inform that choice.
Yeah, that would be something that would need to be done if that was an approach
we
that
led
they
into this
took.
conversation with you saying that, oh, it's not as complicated as you think it is, and I'm like, it is though, because it is. Your point was that it should be simple to do, and I'm telling you that it's not simple to do that. You either have to write hundreds of pages of dialogue,
I didn't say that it was
or you have to
simple.
change the way the game's story works fundamentally, which means.
Well, what I was thinking was those are not the same thing. I was thinking if you're going to have linear storytelling, you could have a bunch of different ways in which your character reacts, even if the story doesn't
Jessica,
really
you're
change.
talking about branching pathways.
That's
even more dialogue. That's even more situations that you have to create. If you're talking about branching pathways, you have to create new pathways for the story then. Then it's not linear. Then it has branches.
No, you don't.
Well,
you know how one of the complaints for what do you call that? For Telltale games was that you had ways in which you could react to what was happening, but in truth, you didn't really have a choice. Like, things were gonna turn out the way they were going to turn out.
But there are still multiple cutscenes that in multiple pieces of dialogue, multiple interactions that still inform those choices you make. Even if they don't affect the general direction of the story, there are still several different scenes that are filmed to highlight those choices. That means branching pathways, more lines of dialogue, more interactions that are different because you've made different choices. It's not simple. It makes the game more complex.
Yes, that's true.
It makes it more complex to design, and it makes the script more complex.
I mean, it makes... Yeah, it does. I'm not saying that there is any one way to make it more, to make it less complicated. I was just proposing that if you wanted to maybe create a few different ways that your character could react,
you led in.
Quiz could be
led
one
in
way
with
to
a
do
proposition to do it in an uncomplicated and simple way, because your original statement was that it shouldn't be that hard to do. And what I said to you was that, Jessica, it is, though. If you do that, it does make it harder to do. It does.
It does make it harder to do than what they're currently doing, which is, silent protagonist.
For any game, it would make it harder to do.
It would be more complicated.
It's like in The Walking Dead, dear. When you leave Sarah alive, do you see the variety of scenes and things that you experience when Sarah's alive versus when she's dead? Sure, she can die earlier or she can die later on, but if she dies later on, there are multiple scenes of Sarah interacting with you, the adult characters, and her father that still had to be written into the game, so that if you make that choice, all of this happens instead. Sure, ultimately she dies, but her role in the story changes, and so do her interactions with the character. So now you've created more things for the design team to do. It's not simple.
The way that I was thinking about it was that ultimately what happens in the game is not really all that different.
I know.
But the way your character reacts is what could be slightly different.
What I'm saying is that's possible.
So that's
saying,
what
Jessica,
I was
that's
saying.
possible, but then you have to make more game. You have to make more scenarios, because now you have branching pathways in the choices. Yes, the story is linear, but your character's journey through it is no longer linear if you have multiple ways to react to something.
But it can be.
Then you have to remove player choice from the equation.
But you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice now. Your character does the same thing
an alternate
regardless
choice.
of what you do.
The moments in which you make choices have to be expanded then. Not the story. The moments in which you make different choices have to be expanded. Doesn't matter if the end is the same. The journey has to change now because you've made multiple choices. Oh. If you introduce choice, you've introduced extra scenes, extra dialogue, extra work.
No, I'm not saying introduce.
Jessica, there has to be an A and a B scenario if you're making choices. There has to be two scenarios.
No, because I'm not saying add multiple scenarios.
Then you're saying don't make choices.
I'm saying make. Yeah.
Then they're not making choices.
I'm saying don't.
Then your character's not reacting differently to anything.
Right.
They're reacting the same way every time because it's written one way. So you have to write a character then.
Yeah,
that's the point I've been making. You have to. Then that's adding more dialogue to the game because now your character has a voice and has to interact with people. It's not simple.
Yeah, there is no. Just to be clear, there is no way to make the character not there's no way to not make it more work.
Yes, there is.
Either way, there is work.
Yes, there is. I told
you
but
what I'm saying is that
characters stronger, having them interact directly with the player instead of Ghost that's the solution. Have the side characters interact with you directly. Have the dialogue and their strengths be better. Prior to Forsaken, the entire cast of characters was garbage. Did you notice all the side characters got better when Destiny 2's storytelling got better? The side characters had to get better. Because your character doesn't speak. They have to be better. Mm-hmm. They have to interact with you. You notice when Ikora talks personally to you, it feels some type of way rather than when you watch a cutscene and everybody's ignoring you? They need to do that in the story, though. Not just as vendors. They need to do that in the story so that the story has meaning. That's my point. That's the easiest way to do this. And them being silent isn't a flaw because the character is meant for you to project upon anyway. You can't write a character for 3 million people. Not in a game like this. Not in a game where you go out into the world and there are other guardians. You can't tell a singular story about one person. There's other yous. If you played Skyrim and there were other Dragonborns running around, if you played Final Fantasy and there were other clouds running around, it wouldn't make sense. There's no longer one cloud. For a game like this, where you're supposed to project on your character and experience things, That's the easiest way to get it off the ground.
I am specialized for cleaning and disinfecting and for maintenance of minor electrical functions.
Again,
Okay.
you never defeat a boss in a cutscene. You always do that yourself.
Nope.
So the experience has to be built around you. It has to be.
It is. I'm not saying
That's why I'm saying they have to be silent. It's not a flaw of the game. It's the point of the game.
I mean, it doesn't have to be silent. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you don't absolutely have to be silent.
Okay, Jessica, how satisfying was it to have 9 words of dialogue in Forsaken? Oh yeah, our Guardian speaks. How satisfying. It was pretty cool to have 9 words of dialogue for that entire story.
I mean, it was cool that...
It was cool.
It was cool
Why was
that they spoke at all.
It was cool that they spoke at all. So we've lowered the bar so much because we went an entire 2 expansions without a voice that we were so desperate for any semblance of character that him saying 9 words was cool. No, it wasn't cool, Jessica. It was unsatisfying and it did nothing for the character. Because saying 9 words versus saying nothing at all leaves you with a situation. When your Guardian doesn't say anything, there's really nothing to complain about because they haven't said anything the whole game. When they say 9 words at the beginning and nothing else for the next 8 to 10 hours, that's deeply unsatisfying because why did they bother talking at all? You can't half-ass it. You either do it or you don't.
Well, I actually... Yeah, which is why I'm saying, I mean, I feel like that's where I've been going. I feel like your character
should not speak.
And
Your
have a
character shouldn't
voice.
speak at all. Because if they're going to half-ass it and have you say 3 words for every expansion, then there's no point. There's no point in your character talking if they're going to talk every 150 hours of gameplay. That doesn't make sense. They may as well not say anything.
Well, no, it shouldn't be... Okay, it shouldn't be like that's kind of where I was going. Like, if you're gonna have the character speak, here's one way in which you can have the character speak and project your character at the same time. And it's okay. I don't
You don't
need
have
you
to,
agree
Jessica,
with me.
but
I'm
Master
totally
Chief says more than
alright
9
with
words.
you.
Okay, that's why he's not an
He absolutely
unsatisfying character in his own story, despite the fact that for the vast majority of it, he's not talking. He has more than 9 words to say. You can't have your cake and eat it too when it comes to narrative writing because you get this. You get something unsatisfying. Oh, he speaks occasionally. Every 2 years he talks. That's not anything, Jessica. If you wrote a character like that, it would be trashed.
It would be a bad
So then why are you
character.
telling them to do that? My point is that they need to go in. My
I'm
point, though, is that they need to go in or not do it at all. You don't meet it halfway.
Yep, they
You see what happens when you try to have your cake and eat it too. You end up with a deeply unsatisfying protagonist and a bunch of underwritten side characters. This is what doing that looks like. This is what trying to have your cake and eat it too.
Yep,
a silent
that's
protagonist
true,
that speaks occasionally. That's what this is. That's Destiny.
Kind of.
Okay, but you're saying it's possible to do, and we are playing the evidence that it is not. We're playing the evidence.
I was saying that it's possible for it not to be
Like
a
in Destiny 1.
character, and for it
Like
to
in Destiny
still
1,
work.
because your character spoke a lot in Destiny 1. Didn't mean shit. Didn't give you a character. Didn't affect the story. It was unsatisfying because you had no character.
Well, no, they didn't.
But you had a
really
lot
write
of lines of
character.
dialogue
Yeah,
in the
they
first
didn't
one.
write a character.
You had a lot of lines of dialogue in the first game. Way more than you did in this. And do you remember any of that?
I mean,
exactly.
No, they had to, like we've been saying, they need to write
Exactly. So they need to go all in with writing a character, or they need to go all in on him being silent. You can't have both, because when you try to do both, you get Destiny 1.
Right. I don't know who you're having this argument with, because I totally agree
And I
with
keep
that.
saying it's not. We saw what happened when they tried.
No, I'm not. I am not saying that. I am not saying that at all. I have not been saying that at all. Which
You're
is why
saying it's
so
possible.
frustrating. I
You
don't
keep
know
saying
who
it's
you're
possible.
having this
This is the
argument.
you're saying
not.
there's a chance of in-game character dialogue. So you never at
Nope.
any point said that they could do
Did
it.
not say any of that.
I'm gonna send you clips of you saying that. You literally just said that.
Okay,
now you're
fine.
saying that you're not saying.
All I said was it's possible.
It's possible. What does it's possible mean?
No.
What does possible mean?
It's possible for I'm about to tell you. It's possible for Destiny 2 to work with your character not being a silent character. And my idea of you having a quiz in order to determine the personality of your character was just a thought.
Okay,
that's all. I mean, I don't...
Okay, my point was that that's a bad thought because it goes against game design. And I'm telling you, it's not possible.
Well, I don't think there are any hard and fast rules.
I think there are when it comes to storytelling. There's no rules when it comes to storytelling? I think Zack Snyder thinks that way.
Nope.
There's no rules. There's just beats. There's no rules to storytelling now?
What?
There's no hard and fast rules to storytelling.
No, there
or characterization.
are no rules. Nope,
okay.
None. I mean, there are theories. There are multiple ways to address them, though. Wow. There are things everyone wants to see. There are things that people prefer to see. But no, there are no hard and fast rules.
There's no rules.
There are no hard and fast rules. No.
Okay, there's no rules to anything. There's no structure. There's no way to do something correctly. There's just do things.
There's a way in which a lot of things are done.
Isn't that the definition of a rule? Isn't that the definition of a rule?
A rule is it's a rule you have to follow.
Jessica, the definition of rule is one of a set of explicit or understood regulations or principles governing conduct within a particular activity or sphere. A rule, because you just said a rule is, it's something you have to follow or not. That's not what a rule means. A rule is a way of the correct and proper way to do something. You saying there's no rules means that there's you saying that there's no rules means that you're saying there's no correct way to do something. That everything is open to interpretation and that you can do it and that you don't have to follow a strict what? There are rules to everything, including storytelling.
I don't
me either, because it's gone bad. If you're saying there's no rules now, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to anyone who hears that.
Alright, well, we're gonna have to agree.
Jessica, there are no rules because rules are not the correct way to do something. They are suggestions that you can either follow or not follow. That's basically what you said.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, okay, fine. You can, fine. I mean, you really need to listen to this conversation again because I'm repeating what you're saying and you're like, I didn't say that. And it's on the stream. Look at it.
Wow.
There's no hard and fast way to do anything. Who said about anything about a hard and fast way? There's the correct way. And there's the wrong way. I don't even understand this right now.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Well, okay. So we are pretty late now. It's about 1:05. I feel like we're gonna end here.
Well, yeah, I guess so because this was very enlightening. Yeah, man.
I guess so.
You know. Hey. Good luck with any story if there's no rules. And I'm sorry. Honestly, I'm honestly sorry that you don't respect my opinion at all.
I'm not saying any of that.
It's okay though. Like whenever I usually say something, I know something about something, you typically don't really care. Even if I do have, knowledge in the subject, it really doesn't matter like what I know or what I don't know because apparently if you think something, it can't be wrong, and if it is, it's just your opinion, man. So there's no opportunity to grow or be right, so you can make a better suggestion later on. Because we all came out of the womb knowing everything. So if I know more,
so
if I know more about game design than you, and I try to tell you more about game design, so you can make a more informed suggestion, maybe next time you suggest a solution like that, that's useless, because I have nothing to offer you in terms of knowledge or, right?
Didn't imply
by
any of that.
Going this far, by like punching up at me like this, really for no reason. Really for no reason.
I do? I'm not
really for like
up. I'm just telling you I don't want to have this discussion.
Of course not, because it's difficult, right? Is it hard to absorb knowledge? I don't understand the problem with talking about something. Like
no, I just don't
You never like the tone. No, Jessica, you don't like being wrong. That's the problem. I don't know why you can't just learn from being wrong instead of saying, well, it's my opinion, man. So it doesn't matter whether or not I'm wrong. It's what I think. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to just absorb new information. Doesn't make sense.
You know, I'm pretty
obviously
open to
not.
information,
Obviously not. I tried to give you examples. I tried to explain it to you, and you fought me every step of the way. Didn't listen to a thing I said and just repeated yourself. No matter what I said, you repeated yourself. Sure, you heard me. Because mouths make sound, but were you listening? No. Or you wouldn't have repeated yourself or doubled down so much.
I agreed.
You disagreed
with
fundamentally with everything I said.
You know, whatever.
Now you agreed with me.
Okay, this is why.
Because your attempts to backpedal aren't working because I have good memory. I hear exactly what you said, and you keep trying to redefine what you're saying. Like it's supposed to mean something other than what it means.
I'm not.
You say there's no hard and fast rules to do something, and then I say, Jessica, are you saying that there's no rules? And you're like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. So it doesn't make sense. Again, you're like, there's no hard and fast rules, or there's no one set way to do anything. And I'm like, okay, Jessica, are you saying that there's no rules for this? No, that's not what I'm saying. So I don't understand you.
That's okay. Maybe
This thing is its own thing. Are you saying it's special? No, I'm not saying that at all. What? Doesn't make sense. The back pedals don't line up with what you're saying.
All right.
That's my fault.
No, I'm withdrawing from the conversation, that's all.
Well, hey. When you're ready to be open, I'm here.
Okay, that's cool. So, do you want me to...
Bounce, man. You already napalmed the stream with this terrible attitude.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess I'll talk to you later. Bye.